Okay, Zepla, Endwalker is the worst expansion she ever played. I hope she meant 14 only. Because if you were to ask me in video games, which is the worst expansion I ever played, Shadowlands. Okay? I don't think Endwalker is the worst expansion in any game that you ever played. Okay? That's Shadowlands, okay?
Hey Buns, today we need to talk about the Endwalker patches because...
Okay, she's talking about Endwalker.
This is a video that I wanted to make quite some time ago, but I myself actually got really burnt out for the first time in the entire time I've been playing these games, which is since 2015, since Heaven's Ward.
She will eventually get burnt out. Every single one of you will eventually get burnt out. The only people who don't get burnt out is new player. But you will never be forever a new player. At some point, you're going to catch up. At some point, you're going to finish doing everything you can do. At some point, you're going to get bored. At some point, you're going to raid. At some point, you're going to do ultimate. The moment you do all those things, which you will eventually, some people take 1 year, some people take 5. She took 8. But she finally reached there already. She finally reached the point that she done everything in the game already. She finally caught up with the game already. And so does every new player that will eventually get there. The only players that would say Final Fantasy XIV is not boring are new players. You are not there yet. Your first day to the job. Oh my god, this is the best pantry I ever seen. Oh my god, the toilet is so clean. Oh, they got so much TP. Oh. Oh my god, this work environment is awesome. I only need to walk 5 minutes to the bus stop. Eventually, you will realize every day walking that 5 minutes to the bus stop is going to burn you out. Fuck this 5 minute.
I've been an active player ever since then, and it was the first time that I actually felt like I really needed to step away and take a breather, and I did. I did just that, because although I had thought about a lot of these things before, I was thinking, well, am I just being burnout? Am I being unfairly negative? Am I being a hater? So I took that break and I came back feeling refreshed and revitalized and in love with the game again, and I'm having fun again. I'm, working on my glams, I'm raiding, I'm doing the hunt trains, I've got my bluebird bow, which I love, and I can't get the bunny staff. These are amazing. So looking forward to Dawn Trail, looking forward to the Fan Fest in London, and overall, back in love with this game that needs.
I need to ask how old she is. It's been bothering me for the last few days. I refuse to believe she's 43. Every website says that she's born in 1980. I'm also born in 1980. I refuse to believe she's the same age as me. No way.
So much to me and is really home for me. But with all that said, looking back now with a much more clear mind.
Yeah, I asked her at FanFest, yeah.
I definitely feel that the concerns that I had before, some of them definitely had real merit. And I think it's not a coincidence that it's not just me, but almost everyone I know seems to be burnt out with FFX.
If you truly go out there and ask every Final Fantasy XIV creator, everyone, and I mean everyone will tell you the same, that they wish 14 has more thing to do. Now, obviously, on screen, they will not say that. They are streaming this game right now. It's not because of the game. They are streaming this game right now is because of their community. They want to spend time with their viewers. Not because they want to play the game. This expansion is super glaring. You can see that every content creator, every streamer right now, right, playing the game, right, they are not really playing the game because they are like, they want to get better. They want to like, take that one step further. They are super enjoying this one piece of content that they want to grind it out. No, it's because they just want to stay in touch with the community. They just still want to stream under the category Final Fantasy XIV. Not because they love playing the game, because this game is really stale right now. All of us are finding multiple things to do with our community, with our viewers. That is not playing the game. But again, it's not because we don't want to play the game. It's because really there is not much, man.
XIV right now and just not logging into the game.
When I go to FanFest, we rarely have Final Fantasy XIV talks. We are just like talking about streaming, talking about live. Or whenever we talk about games, everybody is like, yeah man, this game needs to be better. I talked to Ponto, I talked to Lama Todd. Everybody at FanFest is like, people were scared about the keynote. 9 out of 10 people that I speak to were scared about the keynote. Are you excited for the keynote? I hope the game don't become the same, man. Hopefully they show us something that is gonna blow our mind. But then this is the first FanFest. We obviously don't expect to see anything. We would rather take new news than take the same news. We rather that the game try something different that will puzzle us than, hey guys, we get this again. Hey guys, you see, one thing about the tombstone cap at the Las Vegas FanFest is that they didn't tell us the tomb cap yet. So we can still hope that maybe the cap will be increased. Because let me tell you, if at Las Vegas, Yoshi P says, oh, we're gonna have new tombstone and it's gonna cap at 450. That's a nail in the coffin, right? That means you know the next 2 years you're stuck with 450, right? So the fact that Yoshi P hasn't said yet, maybe it will be 600. Maybe in London it will be 600. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, we are really scared about the keynote. We were really afraid that they will confirm stuff that is the same shit, that we wanted change but we don't get it. So the very fact that the keynote was very fast, it was very brief, there wasn't any new information, there wasn't any update to current system, make us feel that, okay, something is still cooking. There is a chance that this game could be different. You know, it's like you go to the doctor, you knew you have kidney stones because when you pee, it hurts. You go to the doctor and then you are like, doctor, give me the news, come on. Do I have kidney stones? And then the doctor is like, actually, I don't know yet. Give me 2 more weeks to analyze. And then you go back home, you are like, at least that's not a yes. You know what I mean? But it still hurts though. But at least it's not a yes. You know what I mean? You go back and you have copium 2 more months. But you die waiting. Yeah, I know. That's how I feel about 14. That's exactly what I feel about 14 right now. I got this lingering thought that I know that 14 will be exactly the same. Remember just now my pros and cons? I got a feeling that Dawn Trail will go the same route as Endwalker. But at the same time, can't I be naive for once? Can't I be hopeful for once?
Or raid logging, or just completely disinterested and feeling like, well, there's so little pressure to log in, and I can either log in now or maybe next year or maybe in 5 years, you know.
Yes. If you are a long-term Final Fantasy XIV player or you are a new player turned long-term player, you should know that by now. The game wants you to play lesser and lesser and lesser. And even if you consistently have that passion to want to play more, you just can't because you run out. You can log in tomorrow, like OK Mage. OK Mage is now in 5.5 MSQ. So once OK Mage get to 6.0, what's next? OK Mage is a quite serious raider in World of Warcraft. I wouldn't be surprised she will eventually do Savage. Wouldn't be surprised that she will eventually do Ultimate. What more? The moment she starts into Ultimate, there's no more variety already. Because she's gonna spend a lot of time progging Ultimate. The storytelling segment, the look forward to tomorrow's next patch, next story, next cutscene, it's gone already. This is every new player's progression. New players are here. Old players are here. OK Mage is here already. Asmongold is like here. Rich is like, I don't know. Still haven't heard from him. He's still collecting his thoughts. Scribe is here already. That's why it will start getting very stale. It will just be that content. There's no more what's next. Now, obviously, Ultimate, you have next phase. Ultimate, you got next Ultimate. But what I'm trying to say is it slows down already. 6.0 is here already. So it's like, Preach is also caught up. But Preach makes his new own content, which is what we are doing. Which is what Xeno is doing. Although Xeno is not doing anything 14 related. Xeno is just reacting. Like for me, I'm not playing the game. I am chit-chatting with you about 14. I'm not playing 14. For us, right? Eventually, when the content runs dry, which is not our fault, you know, a lot of people always say that you are just burnt out. Just go play something else. You are just burnt out. Go play something else. I don't want to play something else. I want to play Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV is my favorite game to play. I love this game. I love streaming this game. I made a community with this game. I want to play Final Fantasy XIV. Why are you telling me not to play 14? What is wrong with you? I'm addicted to this game. I cannot quit. I want to play more. Give me more. Give me more shit, man. I want to eat shit. I want to eat 14 shit. Even if it's shit, I want to eat it. But there's no shit. That's the problem. And now I have to make up my own shit. That's what most content creators eventually do. What Zepla is saying when it comes to actually playing the game, there's really nothing more already. If you're there.
Yes, there's still one more patch, but we know exactly what is going to be in it because
3 MSQ, 4 MSQ, you wait for part 2 for the story, and then you don't know anything until the part 2 of the story, because that's what Final Fantasy XIV story is always about. Nothing. Bam, go to the moon. Nothing. Bam, go to the first. Nothing. Bam, Rauban lose an arm. You see what I mean? We know that is to be expected, right?
for better or for worse, this has been very, very predictable too.
Yep.
And
Agree.
I'm seeing social groups sort of dissolve, and it sucks. I'm concerned about the state of...
When I played 2 3.0, I guess 3.0, some of you guys watched my stream. That was when I first started streaming. I'm not sure whether you guys realize this, and I'm not sure whether you guys also feel the same. Do you guys realize that you talk to less and less people in-game? Have you guys realized that friend lists become less and less important? Do you guys realize that you don't add people to friend lists as expansion go, as days goes? In 2 3.0, you feel like you will message your friend, yo, can you come and help me living Liquid? Yo, can you help me do Midas? Yo, you want to do this together? You want to do that together? You do that in-game. You invite people. You have a friend list reset. You look at the friend list, you're like, yo, have you done your reclear? Nowadays, do you talk to these people anymore? Do you specifically DM them? Now, I obviously know that there's Discord these days, I get it. But what I'm trying to say is overall the experience is not the same anymore. It's really not the same anymore.
The MMO, and although
You also don't use FC chat anymore. You don't have FC event anymore. Lesser and lesser and lesser. Some people still do that. The new ones, the new players. For us, 8 years later,
I'm not doomsaying, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not out here like, oh, well, this is the end of FFXIV. It's all over. It's ruined. No, I'm not saying that, okay? But what I am saying is that there are concerning signs, and I'm seeing less engagement from everyone I personally know. And then I thought, well, you know, maybe it's just my group of people that I know.
You know, even people like Xeno, even people like Violent, they love the fucking game. They loved the fucking game. Storm's Blood every fucking day is amazing. You go into PF, it was heaven. Storm's Blood streams were my favorite Final Fantasy XIV expansion. I log in every day playing Storm's Blood, it was fun. And then when I go into Eureka every day, I know I got things to do. When I grind the Relic, I felt occupied. I felt like I got things to do. That feeling slowly weeded off already. Style don't even want to play the game anymore. Violent don't even want to play the game anymore. Zeno don't even play the game anymore. Zeno just rap. Okay, maybe he go in 2 hours P9. And even I myself is guilty of that. We used to play the game so much. Now we are playing the game lesser and lesser. The engagement is definitely not there anymore. You know what I mean?
So I went on Twitter and I asked the question.
You know, first thing first, I want to thank Zepla. I know I'm only 2 minutes in. It is not easy for her to come out to be so truthful to what she thinks. There's nothing wrong with what she thinks. Right now, she's speaking her thoughts, and I do think that her thoughts are valid points. I compliment her the courage to come out to say this because number one, she is quite popular in the 14 directory. Zepla kind of represents Final Fantasy XIV a little bit. Like way more than me for sure. If we go by numbers and we go by influencers, I do think that Xeno and Zepla are probably the 2 most influential Final Fantasy XIV streamer, right? I do think so. Zepla over the last few years gained a lot of popularity. Her YouTube channel blew up. I think her YouTube channel blew up. Her Twitch channel got bigger. I do think that she have reached a point where she might have to be very careful to say what she needs to say. Not because of what she say is not real or not, but because of what she say might upset a lot of people. She has more to lose. She has more to lose today when she have a genuine thought than she had before. A lot of content creator will just turtle up. If I am a random guy and I'm Zepla status, I will just put on a blanket. Hey guys, Final Fantasy XIV is great. I love playing Final Fantasy XIV. This game has no flaws. Oh, I love to play this game. Isn't this game great? Oh my god, you guys love to watch me. Oh my god, you guys subscribe to me more? You guys are the best. Final Fantasy XIV community is the best. You bugger. You know, I would have turtled up. If I am her, I could have turtled up. When you look at Xeno and you look at Zepla, right? At least they dare to speak their mind. So far, 2 minutes in, everything she said has been correct. So far, 2 minutes in is anything controversial. But then again, we also have another 35 minutes, so maybe that will change. I guarantee you, there's gonna be a lot of people shit-talking her in the comment. Okay, can we just look at one comment? Wow, people actually agree. Yeah, you see? More and more people agree.
To do a vibe check of the community, be honest. How do you feel about the Endwalker patches? And I was honestly shocked by the number of people that...
People finally woke up. I thought the reply would be people in Copium thinking that the game is still good. Seeing all these comments, people finally woke up and realized that this game is bland. Finally.
Just felt like...
Now, did she specifically just pick the negative ones? I don't know, right? But it's enough for you to see that. People start to realize that already.
It's just not that interesting. These are not people who are saying, it's terrible, I hate it, it sucks. That's not really what I'm hearing that much. What I'm hearing is, it's mid. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't really care that much. I'm hearing apathy.
Again, man, disclaimer, I do think Final Fantasy XIV is still a good game, okay? I do think Final Fantasy XIV is still a good game. But man, this medium rare steak needs some seasoning. It's a good medium rare steak, but damn it, man. Can I have more salt?
I'm hearing like... It's okay. And honestly... that's not gonna cut it. Like,
yeah,
we want to keep people playing this game long term and have people to play with.
This game is 10 years already. And Yoshi P is trying to sell this game for the next 10 years. Now, I mean, even if the game is still the same, but you are not gonna tell me that I'm not gonna complain the next 10 years. the same rant, same thing. Is this a VOD? I will. I will still play this game for 10 years the way it is. I will force a smile on my face. And I will just play when I'm streaming to treat it as a job. I might or might not rate hardcore anymore. I don't know. But my point is, it needs to change. You know?
I feel like the game is going to have to find ways to get more people excited about it and get more people happy, looking forward to log in. I can't wait to log in and play FXIV because especially this year.
Dude, in 3.0, 4.0, I have that feeling. I want to log in every day to play Final Fantasy. I cannot wait to wake up to stream Final Fantasy. And then when I stream Final Fantasy, I stream 8 hours. I did not feel tired. I feel like, oh my god, I want to play tonight in JP as well. Oh my god, I log in every day to want to play Final Fantasy. Oh my god, Eureka, I want to grind. Oh my god, I want to make another Relic. Oh my god, there's an ultimate. I want to do ultimate. Oh my god, I want to help my friends clear ultimate. That feeling slowly just gone already. Ever since Shadowbringer, it started going down already. Endwalker is like, ugh.
I think what we're starting to see is that there are a ton of really quality games coming out, and they are.
This video has to be sponsored.
There are a ton of really quality games coming out.
This is the last. You notice that this Starfield is the last thing she added into this edit. This was the last minute ads. Yeah.
And they are, for better or worse, in competition for your time. And it's wonderful that FXIV does not, pressure you so much to log in. It has never done that. But in the past expansions, we have, although the game hasn't been pressuring you too much to log in, there have been exciting things that we could all log in together to do.
That's a nice fine line. If you got nothing to do, go play another game. But there are things to do. If you still want to play 14, you can play it. But if you do feel that you want to do something else, go ahead. That is true. I agree. That's Storm's Blood. That is Shadowbringer. There's things to do. I want to log in. But if I don't want to, there's something else. Endwalker is, I just want to play something else. Endwalker has no, come on in, log in and play. Criterion, do it one time, done. Criterion is not like, okay, you done it one time, why don't you come back again? There is something that you can still get. You know what? I kind of want to do it again. Get that something. Yeah, sure, then come on in. But today, I don't feel like it. Okay, then go play something else. But I'll be back. Right? Criterion has a reward that I want to get. I want to go back to Criterion, but not today. Today, I want to play WoW. Today, I want to play Starfield. Tomorrow, I'll come back though. Okay, sure. Go play something else tomorrow. Come back to Criterion. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. But now it's like, why the fuck do I want to go back to Criterion? Hey, you want to come back to play Criterion? Hey, anybody want to do Criterion with me? For what?
People had reasons to do. Yes, it is.
You want to come and do another Relic Quest? Yeah. I want to go into Pagos, man. Pagos is so fucking punishing. Pagos is so boring. Pagos is so inconvenient. I want to do another Relic, but man, it's so tiring. I'll come back tomorrow. Sure, come back tomorrow. Hey, Arthars, you want to do another Relic in Endwalker? Okay, sure, what you have in mind? You want to run insert dungeon to it?
Normal for, after a patch has been out for a while, people to get burnout and bored. It's normal for, at the end of an expansion's life cycle, for people to get, well, I'll just go do other stuff. That's okay. That always happens. But what I'm seeing is this happening soon after, like a week after a major patch comes out, or
days.
I started to see this phenomenon after the first major patch of the whole expansion. 0.1 patch, 0.2 patch. 0.3 patch. This should not be as big of a phenomenon as it is.
And to make it even worse, patches are now 4 months. Our patches used to be 3.5. When Yoshi put it on paper, guys, it's only 2 more weeks per patch. 2 more weeks is fine. I mean, it's just 2 more reset. But when you think about it for a whole expansion standpoint, that is 1 month, 2 months, 3 months delay. That's quite a lot.
Early on in the life cycle of the expansion, and so I'm worried. And
people shit on Eureka and Borgia a lot. Now they are missing it because you don't know what is good until you lose it. BFA. People think BFA is shit. They haven't played Shadowland. You thought BFA was shit. You haven't played Shadowlands.
And we're going to talk about all the contributing factors. And if you're having a good time, good for you.
The first few weeks of Shadowland was peak, dog. Bro. The first few weeks of Blast Online was peak, man. MMO launch will always be peak. If a MMO launch is not peak, who the fuck would play it? Why do you think any MMO launch is always successful, record breaking? Because it's launch. Shadowland launch is peak. What? Of course!
I'm not gonna tell you that you shouldn't be having fun. If you're having fun, great. Keep at it. But this is an MMO. right? And we want people to be excited to log in. If they're not, then it's just not as good. It's not a single player game, even though lately it feels like they're...
Yeah. I don't care how Yoshi P always says, okay, I'm a Yoshi P sim now. I shoot Yoshi P hand, I share the tear in Yoshi P's arm. I am now a Yoshi P sim, so obviously I'm gonna defend my leash, my lord, my god, my savior. When Yoshi P says he wants to make this game soloable, I don't think Yoshi P meant you should play this game solo. I don't think Yoshi P meant if you can, go do it solo. We have duty support, you are very far behind, you do your story alone. It's fine. This game is meant for you to do solo. No, I don't think that's what he meant. I think what he meant is, okay, worst case scenario, you can solo it. I think the feature they added in is so that if you absolutely need someone to do and you can't find, then you use that feature. But still, if you can do the MSQ dungeon with 4 men, with your friends, you should. Because the duty support is garbage. The duty support is last resort. Now, obviously, the duty support can be better than some players who are worse than duty support. Yes, they exist. But what Yoshi P is trying to create is that you can play it yourself if you can't play with others, or no time, or just couldn't play with others, time zone or whatever. But it's an MMORPG. For those people that have been consistently doing duty support, I feel very sad for you. Don't make yourself suffer in silence. Don't accept that. You shouldn't accept that, you know?
Even though lately it feels like they are trying to turn it into that. One thing I keep hearing from people is that, oh, I'm burnout. I'm burnout. I'm burnout. But I don't think that's even the right word, because with burnout, you think normally that's when you do something so much, so often, every day, so hard and so long that you just get sick of it and you can't think about it. You don't want to think about it.
Burnout is only used if you hate the game. A lot of people always say that you're burnout, go take a break. I'm not burnout, I'm bored. I want to play more. You think that I'm burnt out because I play too much. I'm here to tell you that I'm not burnt out. I want to play more. But there's no more. And I don't want to play this game not because I'm sick of the game where I am tired of the game. No, it's the opposite. I got nothing to do in the game. So a lot of people, when they use the word burnout, they use the wrong word to describe exactly what we feel versus what they think it is. It's not. We are not sick of the game. On the contrary, we want to play the game more.
You're tired of it, and it's such a relief to stop. But this isn't really what I'm seeing with people. These are people that want to do something.
Yeah.
It's more like how burnout is actually thought of in the car world, where you just sit there, you stay put, and you're spinning the wheels, but you're not going anywhere. Getting in the car, there's a lot of smoke. This car could be fun to drive at some point, but that point is not right now because you are stationary. Now, one thing that I'm really tired of hearing, and I think a lot of us are at this point just sick of hearing, is, well, Yoshi P says that you can just go play other games. If you're not happy with them, just go play other... Well, that's what I've been doing, okay? I played other games for 6
That's what we've been doing. Yeah. Why do you think Xeno don't even play the game anymore?
Yes, I'm glad I can play other games. I'm glad that FXIV doesn't pressure me to the extent that World of Warcraft used to.
But I still want to play 14. And I'm pretty sure she will say that. Yes. It's good that we are playing different games. Yes. But let me tell you, every time I play a different game, my mind is, when is the next Ultimate? When is somebody gonna ask me to proc something together? Like, in the back of my mind, I still want to play 14. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's not there.
But I think that these are two ends of the spectrum. World of Warcraft being on the extreme end of, oh my god, I have to be on this treadmill and I have to keep up or I'm gonna fall behind and stuff. That's a way to burn out quickly. And now FXIV.
you know what's funny now? World of Warcraft used to be that, and then now World of Warcraft is the complete opposite. World of Warcraft Season 2 Dragonflight is the complete opposite. You get on the treadmill 3 weeks, you are done. If you grind 3 weeks, you are done with the game. So World of Warcraft right now in Season 2 is like, they don't even want you to be on the treadmill anymore. Get on and get out.
Is so far and going further in the other end of the spectrum of, oh, there's so little pressure on me that I could either do this today or I could do it next year.
Again, another MS pain. This is the spectrum that Zepla is talking about. World of Warcraft is here. They want you to play too much. Final Fantasy XIV is here. They want you to play too little. Games should be about here. Lost Ark was about here. That's why people love to play Lost Ark so much for that period of time. Because Lost Ark do make you feel that you want to log into the game. There are things you want to do. Anything you do in the game when you log in every day is progression. But then Lost Ark became here. It require you to play 6 characters. Fucking hell, people like THD play 18. How the fuck do you do 8? How do you do 18 Argos, Sultan, Vikers, do 18 amount of Chaos Dungeon and Guardian raids? Like, bruh, you know what I mean? Lost Ark got too far. At the very beginning of Lost Ark launch, it was about here. That's why the retention for Lost Ark was pretty good at the beginning. And this was also the point where Warcraft was Shadowland, which is like complete garbage. Final Fantasy XIV was pretty popular at that time, right? Final Fantasy XIV is like here. It's a Shadowbringer. But now, right? Now, today, Lost Ark is gone. Warcraft has gone Dragonflight Season 2, where they don't even want you to play that much anymore. And then Final Fantasy XIV don't even want you to play the game anymore. This is the state right now. This is the state of MMO right now. It's pretty sad, to be honest.
You know, like, this also has a similar effect of just having people not in the game. They're just not playing the game, ultimately. That's the end result.
Yo, Ellie's ban, thanks for 4 months.
Damages social groups. It damages the health of the game and the longevity of the game, because a lot of times people will go play other games and they just won't come back.
Yeah.
Seeing FFXIV go down this path.
This is the part where Yoshi P done really well. Yoshi P has made 14 a product that when you walk away, you will come back. A lot of games where they make you walk away, you don't come back. Final Fantasy XIV somehow has that enough gravitational pull that it don't matter how far you go, it is only a matter where you will come back. He found this G-spot that people will always be like, I'm coming back. You know what I mean? Some games can't, like Warcraft can't. Shadowland have created such a big damage, a lot of people never went back to WoW again. Final Fantasy XIV haven't reached that point. A lot of people leave, they always come back. A major patch, they come back. An expansion, they come back. Somehow. But the thing is, I think Endwalker is the end of the time. Endwalker is as far as Yoshi P can use that amount of gravitational pull to keep people orbiting heals. Yeah, I feel like that's the limit already. I feel like if 6.0 they don't do better, people are gonna leave for good. I know it sounds very dramatic, but I think it is. I also talked to Zeno. I asked Zeno, yo Zeno, what if 7.0 is the exact same thing? Zeno is like saying he has zero expectation for 14 already, but that doesn't mean that he hates the game. But let's just say 7.0 is gonna be the same shit. He's just gonna take a different stance at the game. He's just gonna play the game for fun. He's still gonna hardcore pro, but he's not gonna be like, I need to find the best group. He's not gonna be like, I'm gonna play the best player. Just gonna drag it out. If the content is gonna be meant for this long amount of play, he's just gonna drag it out. He's not gonna care about world progging Savage anymore. Ultimate, he's not gonna care about world progging Ultimate at all. He's just gonna find, he don't even care whether he's finding a good group anymore. He just need to find people that is willing to sit down 10, 12 hours minimum and then prog for 2 weeks. He's fine. Get the clear eventually fine. And then eventually go reprog with friends, clear for friends, go to PF. We are all already settling for that already. So it's like, if 7.0 is like that, we are not gonna quit. But don't blame us if we just chose to settle. Hey Arthars, how come you don't do this anymore? Hey Arthars, how come you play less Final Fantasy anymore? Hey Arthars, I noticed that you've been streaming less Final Fantasy. Why? That's why. Please understand. We won't quit the game, or we're gonna make adjustments, right?
Where people feel less and less motivated or interested or incentivized at all to log in at endgame. I think that it's really helpful to listen. I cannot believe I'm saying that, to Ian Hazako's. Just hear it. I stand by this because he does explain really well why it is important to incentivize players somewhat to play the game that you're.
You know that is true. When I talked to the WoW developer, right? Dude, I actually still have the recording, man. He was under NDA, so I cannot play it. I asked him about some stuff, and he was very adamant that some things in the game, he wants to keep it that way because he feel that players needs to feel the need. Okay, I asked him, why is Mythic raiding still locked behind guild and lockouts like that? Why can't Mythic raiding be like Heroic raid, where you can go into any boss, learn any fight, proc any fight, go in again to practice to help people clear? He's like, we do not want that for Mythic raid because Mythic raid is supposed to just be for people who are in guild and just for the highest end player. They do not want to water it down where you can pug it. They do not want it to be like you can go in and re-practice, get a better run, help people clear, and then make Mythic raiding becomes like, hey, I can just park it. Hey, I don't have to join the guild. Hey, it's easy to clear. He intentionally made Mythic raid as inaccessible as possible because he wants guild to feel the accomplishment when they gather the people and do it together. I was sitting there like, true. I mean, some things you should keep it that way so that people feel incentivized to grind it out, to keep looking, to keep improving, find ways to get in, rather than just open the door for everybody, right? You know what I mean?
Preach Gaming had with Ian at Blizzard HQ about 6 months ago. And this particular part of the interview really stood out to me because to me, I heard FFXIV all over this.
You know, our goal is never habit in the sense of like you have to log in when you don't want to. Our goal is for you to want to log in. Our goal is for you to want to play World of Warcraft and to look forward to getting back into the game, to have something you want to complete, something you want to chase. And if you're not wanting it, then getting you to do it despite that isn't a victory for us. It's just burning people out. And so I think giving people the freedom to feel like they can take a step away, do something in real life, play another game for a while without falling behind is valuable. I think the one...
But you still have to want to make people come back. You can't just tell people nothing to do, go play something else. I am serious, man, when I say this, and a lot of people are giving me shit for this. Dragonflight is way better than Endwalker right now. In terms of wanting you to play Dragonflight right now, feels more than you wanting to play Final Fantasy XIV right now. That's the truth. And you know what? Even if I don't go in and do a key, I don't miss out. I'm not talking about Shadowland, I'm not talking about BFA, I'm not talking about Legion, I'm talking about Dragonflight only, okay? I feel like if I go in and do one key, I don't miss out on anything. I feel like if I only do 5 bosses in raid, I don't miss out on anything. I do feel like if I, this week, didn't do a single key and I miss out a lot of progression, the next week, I feel like playing more. I just do more keys, get more expected crest. I caught up. The next week, I want to get AOTC, I do AOTC. I don't want to get a clear full heroic. I just want to do the bosses that will drop me my trinket. Fine. I do feel like Dragonflight right now has reached the point where if I want to play, I play. If I don't want to play, I don't play. But I can always go back and catch up. Whereas Final Fantasy XIV is just straight up. Phew, I don't even want to log in. I don't even want to get my tomes. You know?
Thing that we do worry about when it...
And a lot of people quitting WoW right now. I mean, they are quitting WoW right now. It's not because of Dragonflight, man. It's just the damage is already done. Shadowland has already done the damage. Also, there's a lot of good games out now. I mean, let's be honest. Final Fantasy XIV numbers is also not very good. Final Fantasy XIV number is not as good as Shadowbringer. Like I said, man, the only thing that can kill World of Warcraft is World of Warcraft. Now they put out hardcore for WoW Classic. A lot of people, they are still playing WoW. Just not Dragonflight, right? They are still playing WoW. One of the main reasons why Dragonflight number is not as good as before is just... the damage is done already. And it's not just the game, it's also the company. Blizzard has been making very, very, very bad decisions. Back in our days, when we see a Blizzard IP coming up, we will be super excited. Nowadays, when Blizzard have an idea, we all just be like, when is the idea gonna die? People woke up. After Shadowland, people woke up, I think. A lot of people are quitting Dragonflight right now, not because they are quitting World of Warcraft, but because they finally realized that I don't have to play World of Warcraft unconditionally anymore. Whereas pre-Shadowland, a lot of people feel that despite the game being shit, I want to play. And what algorithm is saying now, people are waking up for Final Fantasy XIV. People are starting to realize that as well. What World of Warcraft is going through from Shadowland to Dragonflight, now the Final Fantasy XIV player are experiencing it from Shadowbringer to Endwalker.
To, you know, sort of with raid logging phenomenon or people taking breaks, it's the social nature of the game. Is, you know, sort of the critical mass of keeping a group together. If the person who is really excited to log in to do things with their guildmates logs in and no one from their guild is online because of whatever reason, and then they just log back off, kind of...
That's Final Fantasy XIV right now. And that is Dragonflight right now. Yes, Season 2 is like that right now because Season 2 is done already. Season 2 is so convenient. Season 2 is so easy that, like I said earlier, you are done after 3-4 weeks. If you are mythic raiding and you are super pushing to clear mythic raid, 4 weeks you are done. Oh my god. Yeah, right now Dragonflight is like that. 4 weeks, done.
Disappointed because they were hoping to play with friends, but their friends weren't around. That can be an issue. And I think that's something, you know, going back to WoD, to Warlords of Draenor, that was probably the peak of the raid logging era, where really there was like, other than checking your garrison, if it wasn't raid night, there was nothing to do. That felt like a step too, like too far toward that end of the spectrum.
We joked around whenever Endwalker came out that, oh, Island Sanctuary, that's going to be the garrison of Final Fantasy XIV. And
just now when you guys keep telling me to put Island Sanctuary in pros, I didn't want to do it. I wanted to put Island Sanctuary as a con, but I don't want to upset you guys. But let me tell you, Island Sanctuary for me, I got no comments. I think it's a good addition to the game, but is it really needed to go that far with it? Obviously, I don't think Island Sanctuary development hinder any parts of development of the game. I don't think because of, you know, although a lot of people always say this, the reason why there's no big map content is because Island Sanctuary already took up that big map. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think there's a correlation where because of Island Sanctuary equal you don't get Borgia. No, I do think that there's a more direct connection because of Criterion Dungeon and therefore there's no Borgia. I don't think it's because of Island Sanctuary, but still, I don't think... I'm very neutral of Island Sanctuary, yeah.
I thought we were kidding, but we weren't. It is actually, it feels a lot like the garrison. This expansion reminds me a lot of Warlords of Draenor, which sucks. Because I quit World of Warcraft during Warlords of Draenor. Now, it's not as bad. It's not anywhere near as bad. But I'm sensing a lot of the same vibes of, like, loneliness. And, like, I'm not even in an MMO anymore. One of the biggest reasons why Endwalker has felt pretty lonely and isolating in same ways that Warlords of Draenor felt to me all those years ago.
14 and WoW is such opposite direction right now, man. It's actually crazy, man. Initially, it wasn't that. It was like a rubber band. Final Fantasy XIV and WoW is like barely stretching, barely separate. Their ideals are just this much different. Now I feel like they are the furthest they ever been. If you look at Shadowland, right? Shadowland tried to do too much and makes it shit. Obviously, the biggest problem with Shadowland, the breaking point was Domination Shard and Domination Gear. 9.1 was the straw that broke the camel's back. Oh wow. But then on the other end, Final Fantasy XIV didn't do anything. Final Fantasy XIV didn't try. They just do the same. Warcraft tried too hard and it broke the game. Where are we going now? You know what I mean? What is a good place? You know?
Is the lack of an exploration zone. The lack of anything like Borgia or Eureka or Zadnor. We just don't have that. And there's nothing added to the game that could even remotely replace that. And it's not even so much about like, oh, well, I just love farming fates in Borgia. I just love hunting down little items that has a tiny drop rate. And it's not really even so much about the specific things there was to do in Borgia. It's about the vibe of Eureka and Borgia. It's about being in a zone.
Dude, it's funny to say Eureka and Borgia is the best open world content. And they are not even open world. They are an instance. I would say Borgia and Eureka is open world. Borgia and Eureka is more open world than open world. You have that urgency. I'm not sure whether you guys have that urgency. When you do Fate in open world, if I miss it, I miss it. I don't care. But when you see a Fate in Borgia and Eureka, you're like, fuck, I need that Fate, man. I need that crystal. My relic. And then obviously, I think Borgia went one step too far. Borgia Fate was way too far. And then it become like, bruh, come on, man. Eureka's Fate frequency was perfect. Borgia felt too rushed. Too much. Right, but overall, Borgia and Eureka felt like an MMORPG. You know what I mean?
Filled with tons of other players. That reminds you that you're in an MMO.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of people playing the same game as you, and it's really exciting, and we're all happy to be there for different reasons. Like, you might be in Borgia because you're leveling, or because you're working on a relic, or because
you can do everything,
jewels, or because you're collecting mounts, or because you're farming gil, or you're doing cluster farming. There's a ton of different reasons why all kinds of different people would meet.
Yeah.
In these places. And you might meet people that you wouldn't have known otherwise.
See, this is the part where I would say Criterion is a con, even though Criterion is a good addition to the game. Because Criterion Dungeon not only shrunk down the number of people you need to clear the content, and they don't give you another reason to go back in. Whereas Eureka and Borgia is, you got so many people try to do different things in the zone will never be empty to the point that nobody is not wanting to do anything. I finish my relic, I want to level a job, I go into Borgia. Whereas like Criterion is just, you prog it with 4 men, you're done. You don't return, you know?
Otherwise. You might meet people that were strangers to you before, but you have shared this common purpose, and then you meet more often, and that's how you make friends in the game. That's one of the beautiful things about an MMO.
Yo,
I
King, thanks for the prime.
They're releasing now, which is like solo stuff and small group stuff.
Yeah.
You're usually going in there with people you know or alone.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's like, where else can you even show off your mount to other players?
And this is why buying mounts, I think the biggest scam in the mod station is not Fantasia. Now, Fantasia is a pretty fucking big scam. In China, in the last 1 year, they have statistics that shows that there is 800,000 Fantasia being used in the last 1 year in Eorzea, in China server. Now, that number is probably double, triple, quadruple in EU, JP, and NA. At least for Fantasia, when you go into town and you see these people with Fantasia, at least you know they Fantasia. At least you see something different. Mounts, you don't see them. Oh, I love that sneaky panty shot. Oh my god. Because you don't see mounts in Limsa. Minion, I think is okay. I think buying minions is fine. But mounts are the biggest scam, man. And mounts are so expensive. And you don't have anywhere to showcase them.
In the game, like, you can't do it in the city. Borgia was the place to do that. It's the place where everyone is. It's the place that's happening. It makes you feel like, oh, there's something cool going on and everybody else is doing it and I can't wait to be there with them. That's the heart and soul of an MMO. And without that, it just feels really, really empty, frankly. And I definitely feel like the lack of a place like that, where everyone is, that feels like it's popping off. Like, this is the place.
love it or you hate it for Eureka and Borgia, whether you like doing it or whether you support contents like that or, you know, you like a grind or not, it's not about you. It's not about one of you individual that think that Borgia, Eureka is shit and pointless. It's not about you. It's about when the zone, when that content comes in throughout the entire expansion or even the next expansion, that zone always have people. Today, if you go back to Borgia and Eureka, I guarantee you there's people in there. I guarantee you today, even if you go into Borgia, that zone is probably more populated than 3/4 of these open world zones. You want to bet with me if I go to Ultima 2 right now, or even I go to the moon right now, on a non-hunt train period, you want to bet with me that Borgia and Eureka have more people in them? You want to bet with me that as good as LPs is a zone, as amazing the story of Endwalker and this zone, how beautiful this zone is? You want to bet with me if I go to this zone right now, this zone will have way less people compared to Borgia and Eureka today. So even if you like that Borgia, Eureka content or not, it doesn't matter. The fact is that that zone is always going to be providing more content. It's going to give you more MMO vibe where players enjoy. That's why I say Borgia, Eureka feels more open world than open world area. You know what I mean?
It might contribute to, or even be, a self-fulfilling prophecy where you get it into your head, well, I barely see anyone else, and so this game is dead, right? Of course, that is going to be reinforced if you're not doing anything. You're not called to do anything where you can actually see tons of other players around. I've been finding myself happy to see lots of people standing around the Aetheryte. And that's about as far as it gets in me feeling like I'm in an...
In Final Fantasy XIV, you spend most of your time traveling between... It doesn't matter what zone you are in. You can be in the housing. You spend most time traveling from this point to this point. And obviously, when you teleport, you start off from the Aetheryte, right? Okay, let's just say these 3 places are where you spend the most time. Here, here, and here. If there's a heat map of players' movement, I guarantee you these 3... just for Limsa, obviously, there's a lot of other town, right? But what my point is, Aetheryte to Market Board to the Summoning Bell, even in the housing area as well, these are the only 3 places you visit. This is your open world Final Fantasy MMO experience. Other than that, you're opening this menu, you zone in, you're opening this menu, you zone in, you're opening this menu, you zone in, that's it. The overall MMO vibe in Final Fantasy XIV only evolves around these 3 places. Aetheryte Crystal, Market Board, Summoning Bell. Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad.
Frankly, that's unacceptable.
Mender is only for losers that don't level their crafting. Lazy ass for people who don't level their crafting. You already got not much to do in Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, you choose not to level it, you are lazy. Those people that travel to Mender, those are the lazy people, okay? I'm not lazy.
One of the reasons that we had those before, and we don't now, is because in the past, Eureka and Borgia, these exploratory zones, they were tied in with the Relic journey. And for whatever reason, not only did they choose to remove...
Careful, Zepla, careful! Be careful what can you're gonna open next! Once you open this can, there is no going back. I want you to open that can. Because I already opened that can. I just need more people to open that can, and I hope she opens that can.
Remove these zones from Endwalker completely. But they also removed the Relic journey. There is no Relic journey for Endwalker. You cannot say...
What do you mean, Zepla? What do you mean? I love grinding 15,000. I think that grinding 15,000 is better than me doing the fit over and over. Okay, how do you get your 15,000? I just do this dungeon that give me this much. So you are also repeating. That's aware. A lot of people always say, what is the point of grinding Fate? What is the point of grinding a zone if I have to do the same thing over and over to get my relic? And then when they say that 15,000 tomes is awesome, how did you get your 15,000 tomes? You also do a same shit to get it. Oh, but I can do art. It doesn't matter. You are doing the same shit. That relic step is taken away. Okay? That's a fact. Okay?
That turning in tombstones each time counts as a relic journey. So let me explain if you're new. In the past, in every other expansion of Final Fantasy XIV...
You can choose what to grind. Previous relic also can choose what to grind. But it doesn't matter what you can choose to grind. It's about efficiency. Relic grind is always about efficiency. Because the more efficient it is, it shows that the better you are in a grind. Not as a player, not in terms of skill. The term grind in MMORPG is never about skill. It's about perseverance, dedication. It's about the amount of time you're willing to sacrifice. That is an element of MMORPG. For those of you motherfuckers that think that, oh, that's not what I want, good for you. But don't tell us that that is garbage. Don't tell us that Eureka and Borgia is shit. Don't tell us that Eureka Borgia grind is meaningless. It's meaningless for you. It's not meaningless for us. And even then, not all of us always grind the same thing. Sometimes we are also bored of doing a dungeon. Sometimes we take a break. Sometimes we wait for the expert to reset. Sometimes we go do something else with our friend. Hey, I don't mind helping you. I mean, it's not efficient. Rather than getting 50 tomes in 10 minutes, I now get 50 tomes in 50. But you know what? I don't mind because at least I'm still progressing. It's not the best route. We have been doing that. You guys really hated the grind because you guys think we only do one thing. We are only doing one thing because it's proven most efficient. But it's not really what we only do. But to completely take that away from us, that is like, mommy, I really like playing this Lego, but I'll only play this Lego 1 day in 7 days. And then mommy is like, okay, if you only play 1 day in 7 days, I'm just gonna throw the Lego away. But mommy, I still play the Lego 1 in 7 days. 1 in 7 days is not good enough. It's a waste of your time. I'm just gonna throw it away. I still want to play it. Yes, I play it lesser. Yes, I might not play it 24 hours a day times 7 days. But sometimes I play 24 hours a day, or sometimes I play 3 hours for 7 days. I still need that toy. But if you took it away from me completely, I can't relate. You know what I mean?
Ever. The Relic has been a very special...
What did they take away though? You still have a grind. They took away the whole fucking zone. They took away the MMO feel. The not open world vibe. I can find grind in another content, yes. But they took away that content. Are you really fucking stupid to not even see that? Yes, you can still grind 1,500 tomes elsewhere. Fuck man, MS Pin again. There's so many content you can do to get 1,500 tomes. Okay, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. Now, obviously, the best way is to all do this, right? That's the best way. But that doesn't mean that this should be gone. That's Eureka. That doesn't mean that you should take this away. Well, a couple of people do this, I guess. Oh, take it away. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, I am upset. Ooh, I am Arthars. I am now very upset. Sad face. Why are you upset? You can still do this. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter. The fact is that I still want to do this. So for you to say that, well, just go elsewhere, that's in my dick. You don't understand. That's the problem. Just because I can grind 1,005 tomes elsewhere, that doesn't mean that you should take away Eureka, okay? That doesn't mean that you should take away Borgia, okay?
Weapon. That has been a journey for you to get. Now, usually you complete it in stages, each stage becoming increasingly more cool looking, shiny. It transforms over time. And with each stage, you need to go grind some materials. You need to go, I don't know, farm fates, maybe do some dungeon or whatever to get the materials you need to upgrade it to the next stage. And so it's this long process. It's meant to cover...
Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with us or not, whether you agree with Zepla or not, the fact is, Endwalker clearly missed a Borgia Eureka content. I don't give a shit about your opinion, and you don't have to give a shit about my opinion. I am not here speaking about opinion. I am here speaking about fact. Endwalker clearly missed Eureka and Borgia. It is obvious. Now, we still have 6.5. Maybe Yoshi P will slide it in, and then this discussion will just be... I don't see it happening, obviously. But the fact is, Endwalker is clearly missing Eureka and Borgia. That one little thing that you might think that, who cares? That one little thing is what the other 95% of us miss. Whether you like it or not, whether you like the grind or not, whether you like Eureka or Borgia or not, it doesn't fucking matter. Final Fantasy XIV is not about you. Final Fantasy XIV is not about me. Final Fantasy XIV is about the collective, and the collective missed their content.
At the very, very end of it, very end of the expansion, then you have a pretty good weapon. And it's a sparkly weapon, and it shows that you had dedication and you had patience, so it's a great way.
Dear, we got only one more relic step. Two more. I don't see how they will suddenly add a grind. At this point, I think the copium tank has ran out. I think there's no more grind already. I think at this moment, everybody should just accept it's just going to be 1,005 tomes.
For a casual player who maybe doesn't want to raid, to get a really cool weapon that they can be proud of.
What is my wife's highest skill ability in real life game? Giving birth. My wife gave birth to 3 kids, natural birth. No epidural, no painkillers, no nothing. I think she's the best breeder.
That shows they were committed to this, and it's something to be proud of for sure. It always has been. But this is the first expansion where I have not heard shit about their relics, because the relics are in the game. The relics are still in the game for Endwalker.
It's not a relic anymore. The relic quest has changed so much. Dude, this is actually one of the things in my Yoshi P question. This is actually in my list of to ask Yoshi P. Now, I'm not gonna ask him all of these things in one fan fest. This is gonna be the list that I will ask Yoshi P along the next few meetings that I ask him. I'm a 1.0 player and I love the relic quest sequence. Starting from Hamlets, where we provision a zone to get rare items from Hamlet instance, to crafting a difficult base weapon, to melding them with super expensive materials. From Beastman boss hunting to dedicated job battle leaves, and then spirit bonding to fighting the primals to EX Ifrit. Any reason why you don't do that anymore and make relic so piece easy now with just Hildebrand? Please bring back some sort of grind/relic progression system. I already have this in my list already. I just don't know whether this is gonna be priority. Right now, my priority is Unreal Ultimate, Booba Slider, and also whether Black Mage is supposed to be this difficult. And if that's the case, why are jobs like Summoner so easy? These are my top 3 priority right now. Positionals, Relic. I feel like Relic is quite important. I feel like we reached the point that the Relic quest is facing extinction. This is important now. Yo, Criterion reward is also pretty important. Criterion reward is extremely important because the keynote already shown that in 7.0 they will continue doing Criterion dungeon. So then Criterion reward, I think, is top of the list right now. 0 is most important. Nah. 0 is no. I'm done already. I'm not. There's no way already. There's no way. I'm already 45 already. EU Fan Fest, I'm gonna be cosplaying Sasuke. He wouldn't even know it's me. Now, I already have confirmation that Yoshi P know who is Arthars. I want to know whether Yoshi P know who is Sasuke W. Now, if Yoshi P truly know who is Sasuke W, oh, I will be really happy. That is my alter ego. That is my alternate personality. I want to see whether Yoshi P knows who is Sasuke W. We'll find out.
But to
2.0 is the best relic quest. I think 1.0 is better. 1.0 has the best Final Fantasy XIV relic quest. Now, I don't think a lot of you guys played 1.0. Now, 1.0 is shit. 1.0 is laggy. 1.0 is unoptimized. But I'm just talking about the progression, the things you go through, the things you have to do. If that whole system translates into 14, it will be fine. Now, I don't know whether there's a YouTube video for you to re-look how Relic Quest was in 1.0, but the whole journey felt like a quest. It's an adventure, you know?
upgrade your relic. This time, just turn in tomestones. And it's not even that many. In fact, most people, you can log in
and get it.
If you hadn't been spending tomestones, you have enough. And that's
it's so bad.
It's literally a tomestone weapon. There's no cool, like...
It's an uncapped tomestone weapon. Yes. Coming from Final Fantasy XI, and then 1.0, and then 2.0, and then 6.0. What the fuck happened, man? My only reason that I can think of what happened to Final Fantasy XIV Relic is that the entire Final Fantasy XIV Relic development team went to Final Fantasy XVI. Okay, like you know Koji, you know Sogen, you know Yoshi P, they were 50% taken out and then 50% put into 14, so they are doing 2 games at the same time. I feel like the Relic Quest guy just completely got yoinked out of 14 and put it into 16. Like the guy is just gone.
There's no process really to get it anywhere. There's no journey. They just removed that completely. Why? Why did they do this? I do not understand. We have tomestone weapons already. Why do we need
Yuki, thanks for the prime.
Worst tomestone weapon? I am truly baffled by this decision, by them to get rid of this thing that also served the very important purpose of keeping people engaged with the game.
Again, man, what Zepla is saying and what we are trying to imply is not because we missed the grind, okay? It's because you took away the most successful element in Final Fantasy XIV ever since Eureka. Eureka and Borgia, whether you like it or not, again, like I said, or whether Borgia is not as good as Eureka, but it is one of the main things. It has solidified itself as like one of the main optional content. If you ever want to do optional content, Borgia and Eureka is the optional content. But they took that away. That is I think that is the biggest miss in Endwalker. 100%.
A lot between patches. It's the thing that, like, it gave you something to do.
So much to do,
For example, I think it was at the end of Stormblood where there was a big content drought, like a giant one. And
BA.
I'm pretty sure it was end of Stormblood.
She's gonna talk about BA.
Ask Yoshi P, what do we do? Waiting. It's such a long drought. What do we do? Waiting for the next expansion. And he said, oh, just get every relic weapon. And people were kind of mad at him at the time because it was kind of a cop-out answer, but it was a valid answer because getting each one was time-consuming. That's really what the purpose that it served in the past was to keep you busy waiting for the content. But without that, it's almost like they deliberately are now choosing to not have you play the game between the patches.
Yeah.
This is the first expansion.
Okay. Because he wants you to play Final Fantasy XVI. Not wrong. The biggest reason why this expansion so far has felt even more that you should not play 14 and play something else is because he wants you to play Final Fantasy XVI. The missing content that 14 doesn't have in Endwalker was to buy Final Fantasy XVI. Final Fantasy XVI is the optional content that Yoshi P didn't put in 14, but then put it in another game. It is, right? If you actually think about it, it is.
In all my years of playing FFXIV that I don't even know what my relic looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
yeah, I call myself the relic guy in Final Fantasy XI. I had at some point the most relic Empyrean weapon in the server. When people look at me, when people see the name Arthars, people know that I'm the relic guy. When it goes to 1.0, I collected all 7. I was the first guy in my server to collect all 7 relic. People, it's like, how the fuck did you get number 1, the money, number 2, the time, and number 3, the skill to clear Ifrit Extreme 7 times and do the Spirit Bonding 7 times. Do all the jobs. You done all the leaves. What the fuck? I'm the relic guy. And then when you go to 2.0, I literally done the most relic. I have all relics, all 9 relics, all the way until the end of 2.0. Where the fuck did you find the time? Because I'm the relic guy. 3.0, you guys saw me grind relic. I grind relic so much that Mr. Happy got me into State of the Realm to talk about relic because I am the relic guy. And then from that point on, I went from the relic guy to the ultimate guy. I don't even know what relic looks like anymore. I went from, okay, Relic Quest is shit. Let's make an effort to at least make one. And then when Eureka came, say, okay, the relic is hard to get. It is shit. Let's at least make an effort to get one without stats. I got my relic in Pagos without stats. I didn't throw in more crystal to get a stat. I was like, okay, I got a relic, fuck it. And then after that, coming into Endwalker, I don't even bother making a relic anymore. Obviously, I naturally got 1,005 tomes that I will buy it for free. Oh, it looks cool. This latest one, I didn't even go into 6.4 with kept tombstone. Like, I went from doing everything into not even doing one anymore. That's pretty fucking bad for the content to become like that, you know?
My friends who normally send me screenshots of, look, I just got the new relic for my job, and oh, I just got another relic. It's usually a thing we are excited to share because it's a big deal. It's like a big milestone every time.
I used to have my Facebook that is Final Fantasy related. I would post every time I get a relic, and people will be like, wow, you got a relic, congrats. Nowadays, who fucking cares?
That you get to upgrade it because it's hard to do. Nobody I know is even getting a relic. Nobody's even going after it now because it's not cool, because it's easy to get. It has no value because it's just anyone can get it. So what does it mean? What does it say? Why would they remove this? It just feels like laziness, frankly. It feels like maybe they didn't even want to put it at all.
You know, it's good that sometimes some things needs to go missing, then we realize how much we miss it. I feel like this Eureka quest, or this Borgia, missing this Borgia, I think hopefully it's a wake-up call for them to realize that, oh shit, that is important. I hope this is not we exclude it and we don't revisit again. We don't know the community feedback about this. We don't know whether people want it or not. We remove it, we're just gonna remove it. Hopefully this is a content where enough feedback will make them realize that, okay, we have to bring it back.
But they felt like they had to, and they put the lowest amount of effort into it as possible. They really phoned it in, and frankly, it's shameful because this is not what the relic is meant to be. It is meant to be something to keep you busy for a little longer, but it also feels like it's a deliberate choice that they do not want people even logging in that much. They just don't want you to feel like you need to log in at all. It's crazy. Now, the next thing that
it's crazy. It is crazy.
Me to say, because I am an MSQ Andy. I live for the main story quest of FFXIV, and that will never change. But I have never been more disappointed with the main story quest than I have in this expansion's patches. Now, I loved 6.0. I thought it was great.
Because the finale is over. Your Hydralisk Zodiac is over. And when they do this void thingy, we all know that it's a filler. I don't think anybody would think that anything to do with 4 Fins and Gobas will be something that will linger into 7.0. No. Yoshi P already said 7.0 is a restart. 7.0 is like 14-2. It's going to be a brand new state. We're going to be set off as a brand new adventure again. We already knew that the 4 Fins and Gobas, the void thingy is just filler. We all know that filler are just shit. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be a quick start, quick end. Whether you miss this chapter, it doesn't change anything. You know?
But the patches have definitely left a lot to be desired. And I was really patient and forgiving for the first couple of major patches. I thought, well, you know, they're setting up for something else and we're just getting ready to pivot and there's meant to be a bit of a lull between what's going into the next thing and blah, 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 blah. But looking back, I feel like I was...
Patches story never set up properly for the next expansion. It's just filler, bam, review. Filler, bam, review. Nothing. But that's why Shadowbringer was so good. Because in Heavensward, Feuler, you know, where Albert came to the source, where he became the Warrior of Darkness and came to the source. Now, that was a long game. I don't think Ishikawa was thinking about it. I don't think Ishikawa was the one that wrote Heavensward story. I don't think the Heavensward patch story was a seed planted for Shadowbringer to happen. It just happened to be that what at least it has something going on, right? You came from the first. One day, if we do visit the other shard, maybe this thing can come in. Sure. But the void is done. But after this Gobas bullshit, it's done. There's no more returning that already. So this filler just felt like a very meaningless filler that even if you think about the long game, it's not gonna be part of it, you know? So it's like,
It's kind of making it...
But it's really fucking cool though. I really like Gobas, Barbarisha, Ruby Kante. I think these are awesome. And also the 4 Fiends is gonna set up the future ultimate. But that has nothing to do with the story. For Zepla to say in terms of story is the most underwhelming it is. You just don't see how it can be reused. You just don't see how it will be linked. What's gonna happen? We kill Zeromus. Yay! We averted a temporary crisis. Oh, by the way, you want to go to the new world? Sure, let's go to the new world. It's not gonna be like, man, what Gobas, what Zeromus have done to us have made me start thinking, maybe I should have go there and check that place out. You know, maybe that was where all evil manifested. No, it's not. Once Gobas is done, it's done. It's over. 13 is over, it's done. We don't talk about it anymore, you know what I mean?
And I don't want to say that all of the story and every moment in the whole story was terrible. No, because there were good moments. There was a lot of really nice moments. Like the slice of life moments I thought were some of the better parts.
And that Reckless yet? Nope.
Especially
I haven't played Final Fantasy yet.
Doing the
Luazog 1000 asked Endwalker, is the raid log expansion, do you agree?
I feel like
yes.
It is...
Endwalker is the raid log expansion. Oh, nice pause. Endwalker is a raid log expansion that is also the most unfun to pass. Some people raid log so that they can eventually pass, but this expansion is literally the worst to pass as well. Do you know how much sandbagging you gotta do to get a good pass?
Shameful.
And the sandbagging is not because of this raid. It's because of them doing the 1 week delay. The boss are not tuned properly anymore. And also the job balance is in shambles. The meta is fucking garbage. So a lot of things combined. It's just not fun.
It's obvious that they, instead of making the trial series side series like we have had with Sorrow of Wirlit or Four Lords in the past, they instead chose to make it the main story quest. They made the trial series the main story quest. We don't have a trial series. We do not have a...
When is the last time we have a trial that ties to MSQ? Heavensward? Holy shit, that's been so long. I'm trying to remember what was Heavensward's trial. I don't remember. Oh, it's not. Okay, okay, how can I forget? It's the Warring Trial. Okay, it's not tied to MSQ. Yeah. So this is the only one that, since a Realm Reborn, that is tied to MSQ. Now, I don't know whether that's considered a good or bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's the end of the world thing, you know?
Side series, a story of the trial bosses. Because they have just put it right into the main story quest. So that's... Okay,
again though, I don't want to say that I beg to differ with Zepla here, but let's be honest, I think Zepla can also agree that because she thinks that the story in the patches are considered filler, which then means that technically speaking, the 4 Fiend and Gobas are considered a filler trial, which means that they are not really MSQ trial. Although it is, but it's not really. Because you think about it, right? The weapons are also a filler trial. The 4 Lords is a filler trial. So technically speaking, the 4 Fiends is also a filler trial, except it's in the MS. But it's a filler. It's still a filler, right? Technically. It's just that this time, they just don't have anything to put between Hydaelyn, Zodiac, and Dawn Trail. They just think that this filler is now MSQ. But it's still a filler, right?
Less content. Not only is it less story content.
Holy shit, now that you talk about it, dude, that's another con. Basically, Endwalker post 0.0 story, it's not there. Every other expansion post patch story is a build-up. This Endwalker post 6.0 is not a build-up. It's literally just a filler. So technically speaking, Endwalker story got cut short. Basically, you just get a trial series that's pasted into MSQ. I never thought about that. Now, not only the first half is shorter because they have to wrap up Storm's Blood, and then Endwalker truly begin at Elpis, or after the death of Zodiac, if you call it it. So Endwalker's story is already cut short half. And then post Idolin Zodiac, there is no continuation. So Endwalker's story is actually pretty short, man.
Overall for us, but it's way less than.
I mean, it's because Endwalker is supposed to close the entire set. Yeah, I know, I agree. So that means that our post 6.0 should be about how we go to Dawn Trail. But does this Void chapter makes you feel that there's a continuation? Fighting against the evil of Golbez and his friends, does it seems to you that it is leading to Dawn Trail? Now, obviously, like I said earlier as well, Final Fantasy XIV has always been nothing, bam! So they can definitely pull something. They already put in a Realm Reborn. Suddenly everything is strawberry and roses. The three nations are coming together. Yay, let's have a dinner. Bam! Rauban lost an arm. And then we are on the run. The next thing you know, we are in Ishgard. What the fuck? And then suddenly, yay, you know, we have ended the dragon song. Way, everything is strawberry and roses here. Yay. Bam! Suddenly Shinryu happened. And then you have to go to Alamigo and Papa Lumo is fucking dead. How did that escalate so quick? And then suddenly you go into Storm's Blood post story. You kill Zeno. Zeno is like finding a new body, trying to do something. Emma's Cell is here. He is the Gallian Emperor, the first Emperor. He's like the grandfather of grandfathers. He's the guy. And then suddenly people start fainting. Bam! You go to the first. What the fuck? So this one is gonna be like you fight Golbez, the story doesn't seem to leave. Bam! You have to go to Dawn Trail. I think that's what's gonna happen. Again. But the other post-patch story still felt like it was a build-up. This Void chapter does feel like I don't think it's a continuation. I just think that this is a filler that will end. They will start with the 13, they will end with the 13, and then go into Dawn Trail. It's like Luffy fighting, you know the part where Luffy was fighting the punching guy? Literally this Golbez thingy is that chapter. Zero purpose. Today, right, after seeing how Oda put everything together, that Foxy is a disconnect. The Foxy is a filler. There's no continuation. You know what I mean?
We were aware that there were these archfiends at the very beginning of the expansion. We knew exactly what was going to happen. Some people are saying, oh, well, it's just because 6.0 big arc ended and then we got a new arc starting in Dawn Trail, and so this is just in between, so you can't expect anything good. That's honestly bullshit, because being constrained...
To be honest, I agree with the people that told her that. I do think that when you end a saga like that, Hydaelyn and Zodiac should have ended in 6.5, not in 6.0. But then again, from a marketing standpoint, I don't think they can afford to put the Hydaelyn Zodiac story to end in 6.5, because not a lot of people is going to continue playing it, not a lot of people is going to continue subbing it, not a lot of people is going to have that 2 to 3 years time to follow the story. Although they can just, you know, resub the patch. But I think it's a lot of work over the course of a lot of time to stay invested. So I think when they do the 0.0 story, it needs to start and it needs to end. Like the Dragon Song War has to end. Although it did continue a little bit more, but officially it was ended in 3.0. The Alamigo shit, the war has ended in 4.0. Even though Zeno came back and he's ruling something, but doesn't matter. When the Hydaelyn Zodiac, when the final grand finale ends, I don't think whether you play 6.1 to 6.5 is gonna matter. I think that you finish 6.0, you can just play 7.0. I don't think this will be missed. The story is very irrelevant, very forgettable, very no need to know.
In time to tell the story usually means that it's going to be easier to tell a good story if you spend enough time really plotting that out and considering it. Like, that's one of the major reasons why I often say Shadowbringers was such a solid story expansion, because they needed to tell the entire story of a planet from beginning, middle, and end within the course of one expansion. So there's all these new people you meet. There's this huge climax.
Shadowbringer is the best. Ishikawa definitely outdid herself. Shadowbringer was just perfection. Shadowbringer is what every Final Fantasy XIV expansion needs to be. A proper start and a proper end. Heavensward also did that, right? A proper start and a proper end. Storm's Blood, a proper start, didn't end, and then just cut short. You cannot convince me that Xenos is a character well thought out from start to end. You cannot convince me. When they talk about the Xenos revival and him overthrowing his own empire in 4.x series, you cannot convince me that suddenly you just put him in 6.0 and then he just died at the end of the universe. I don't believe that. They spent more time in 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5 to tell you about the comeback of Xenos, and then the comeback meant nothing in Endwalker. Moving forward, it needs to cut short. Like when we go to this new world, when we go for this treasure hunting or this civil war bullshit, it should start and it should end. And then we move on to the next place. We move on to the next place. We move on to the new planet. You know what I mean? They should never do any continuation again. One chapter start, one chapter end. Yeah.
and they need to wrap it all up before you go. And this made it really satisfying as its own package. So sometimes constraining the story is really, really good because you can get all the juice in.
I think Stormsblood's story is one of the causes of Endwalker's story downside. No. If they do it right, this was supposed to be the Gallian Empire expansion. This is supposed to be the whole vibe. It's about finishing the Imperial army, basically. And then finish up the Hydaelyn Zodiac arc. It was supposed to be like that. But because of how Shadowbringer was so successful, how Shadowbringer raised the pace so much, they decided that it was a way more worthwhile investment that they just quickly slash off Shadowbringer and quickly start Endwalker to finish it. I am okay with that. Because let me tell you, I think all this problem that Zepla talk about, all these things that we've been talking about this whole stream, I do think that 14 needs a change already. I cannot think about, if let's just say this expansion is about wrapping up Storm's Blood, and then the next expansion, like you know, we go to this fan fest and we look at the keynote, then we are looking at Endwalker, I will be like, bro, I have to do one more expansion of the same systems in the game, I will lose my mind. I do think that the cutting short is necessary. I think it's more important that they quickly start it, quickly start a brand new saga, quickly revamp the game, quickly make the game feel like fresh again. Bad as it is that they rushed it, I do think that it needs to be rushed. Like, fuck it, just we forget about this. This is gonna be one day when we talk about, when we will do tier lists, when we compare the previous expansion, then we will bring out Endwalker again. But right now, I think we just want to quickly move on. I think the main thing about 7.0 is that most of us, whether veterans, new players, or even returning players, all of us agree that this game needs a breath of fresh air. In every aspect, we need a restart. You know?
Better. But it feels like they really took a lazy path, to be quite frank. And they decided, oh, well, won't it be so convenient for us to just do callbacks to huge story moments in FF4, try to recreate those. And a lot of times it felt forced. And
it's fan service. Final Fantasy XIV definitely does a lot of fan service, which I enjoy. I really enjoy. I love the Omega Raid. I think a lot of you guys don't appreciate Deltascape. FF5 is the only Final Fantasy that didn't get localized and shipped internationally in the early days when it was released. FF5 was only JP only, Asia only. I don't think a lot of you guys knew about FF5 until like maybe 10, 20 years later, you know what I mean? FF5 was so good, man. When I saw Deltascape, I was like... And then when they do Sigmascape, when I saw that Phantom Train, I was like, oh my god. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. If you make a raid that is just 4 times dummy bosses, and the dummy is just doing a T-pose, moving around, sliding around, with zero rendering, zero animation done, but it does mechanic, I'm okay. I honestly don't give a shit about whether you're creating something new. I don't give a shit about aesthetically looking they are better or not. I don't give a shit. I only care about mechanics and I only care about difficulty. So for them to slide in throwbacks like previous Final Fantasy stuff into the raid, that's a bonus for me. For me, it's a bonus. I don't mind it. You know?
Like we're just artificially trying to recreate this moment from FF4, and I found that to be very frustrating. And
I like it though. When you look at those 8-bit characters / monsters, seeing them in Final Fantasy, I thought it was pretty touching. I feel like it's a good tribute to pay the previous Final Fantasy. Ruby Kante 4-fin music was so good, man. And Golbez BGM was so good. Soken managed to put boss fight and the overworld music together for the Golbez. I thought it was fucking amazing. Soken is a fucking god, man. This fan fest, I want to see Soken. I know Soken probably don't like me because Soken never replied any of my tweet, and I will ask him, Soken-san, naze ore no tweeta no nani? 反応ないの何ソケンさん俺が嫌いソケンさん大好きなのにソケンさん返事してくれよ頼む
Instead of having a side story series like Sorrow Virlet, which I know that's a tough act to follow, we'll just make that the main story quest instead. That has sucked. The story has gotten so predictable that in the previous live letter, they even told us who the next boss was going to be because they know that we know.
Yes, exactly. I agree. Cut the bullshit. Basically, Final Fantasy XIV has cut the bullshit. They used to be no spoilers, but the moment they give you Barbarisha, you know exactly who you're getting already. You know you're getting Body Kante. You know exactly you're gonna fight Golbez. You know exactly you're gonna fight Zeromus. They don't even hide anymore. Yes, Treasures of Argan is my favorite expansion in 11, yes.
And they did it for the last one too.
Yeah.
Usually it's like a big secret. Like, ooh, we can't even tell you who the new trial boss is gonna be because it's gonna be this huge story moment.
Yes, it's the tipping point of where's the next expansion. But because this next expansion is a fresh restart, nothing matters. We just have to make sure that we put out a content, a story for you to play until Dawn Trail, you know?
But that really hasn't happened this time. and it sucks. So,
Yo, Arthars,
Sarah
thanks so
Borland
much for the
was
17 months.
Absolutely amazing. I
Yeah.
cried at the end. That's the Shadowbringers trial story series. And honestly, it feels like they took a really easy way out with the main story quests for these patches.
They took an easy way out in everything in Endwalker. That's why Endwalker quality fell really short. Quantity is there. The amount of content that we have in Endwalker is that the quality is not there.
The better parts were slice of life stuff. Zero being a character who I like, and is generally pretty well received. And the
Oh my
moments
fucking god, I'm so
getting to
hungry
know
right
and
now.
Sort of chill out with the Scions has been some of the brighter points. So that gives me hope for Dawn Trail, because I think it's going to be more like that stuff. But God, it has felt stretched out and it's felt like a filler, and that has.
It is a filler.
That has not really been very engaging.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing.
Every bad thing is a good thing because through bad things we improve. Through bad things we know what not to do again. We try to not make the same mistakes again. So hopefully Square Enix sees this.
I know, this is rough, man. The next thing. Island Sanctuary.
Oh.
I literally...
Oh no, Zepla, be very careful again. Ooh. What is she gonna say about Island Sanctuary? Oh no.
I do not know a single person that is excited and happy with how Island Sanctuary turned out. In fact...
Really? I think a lot of people are excited. I don't think everybody is disappointed. I think a lot of people, including myself, is definitely disappointed. I don't think everybody hates it. Dude, I mean, the Japanese fucking loved it.
In fact, even when it first came out, I remember everybody was kind of shocked that, like, oh, because we thought, oh, we're going to go there and it's going to be this relaxing island getaway vacation. And we get there and it's a fucking management sim, like, spreadsheet thing where you...
To be fair, the spreadsheet is way over. It was overboard. When those people come to my chat and tell me I got this spreadsheet to share to you to optimize it, I fucking died of cringe. This was not what meant to be done. This was just meant for you to go in, fuck around. It doesn't matter how fast you do it. It doesn't matter how slow you do it. You go in, you fuck around. You don't need to optimize. Yeah, when I see people optimize it, I'm like, bro, you guys are breaking the whole... Why do you guys have to make Island Sanctuary like that? Because if you guys make Island Sanctuary like that, and then you realize that this is how you should play it, and then you don't enjoy playing it that way, or do the content that way, then it becomes a shit content.
Assign work schedules to all the little
Calories, yeah, I call it the
robots,
calories.
and it's just like, what? The general reaction was, wait, we're here to work?
We are not here to work. The players choose to come in here to work. And that is why I think a lot of things that Yoshi P and the Final Fantasy XIV developers put out is one thing, but it is another that the player perceive it and play the game the wrong way. I don't think Black Mage was meant to be played the way we are playing. There's no fucking way you tell me the other 18 jobs in this game was so homogenized, so fucking easy to play. Summoner is so brain dead to play, and then you suddenly tell me that Black Mage is meant to play this way. There is no fucking way. I refuse to believe that. You will never convince me that Black Mage and or Island Sanctuary is meant to be played this way. I think the players are the one that think too much and they open the Pandora box. You know, sometimes when you think too much, things don't happen, you waste your fucking time, right? Black Mage and Island Sanctuary is you think too much and it happens and you're like, you think Astrologian and Dragoon will be simplified if Summoner was December? No, I don't think they will be that simplified. Summoner and Dragoon rework will be like a ninja rework. So I think a lot of people expect that Jump will become a GCD, like Mudras. We were supposed to see this expansion, and then Paladin just cut the queue because Paladin just was outdated. Paladin reached its end. Paladin is a car that no longer moves. You know how old the car is? You can somewhat just, you know, you can still kickstart it, you push it, and you kickstart it. Paladin is just dead. The car is gone. You need to send it in already. You need to scrap it already, you know? Astro and Dragoon was supposed to get that rework that, you know, Ninja got, but I guess we'll wait for 7.0.
This isn't what I expected at all. You're there by yourself. There's really no reason to go to someone
Oh my god, my
else's
nose is so itchy.
island. Almost a garrison. Yeah, it's the garrison of FFXIV. Only, honestly, less fun than the garrison was. It's less interesting than the garrison.
I did the first time for the glamour, and I was like, there's no fucking way I go back again. Although they also have a lot of glamour that is a lot better than the first one, but I'm not going back again. That's why, for me, it was surprisingly that they double and triple down this content. I'm not saying it's a bad content, But do you need to go that far? But then again, I don't care because this obviously doesn't affect other content development, right? This is just another content that they can do for fun. Yeah, that's cool. But
you level up for several hours, and then when you're done, you can fill out the spreadsheet through a workshop. And you can have that done in 15 minutes once a week. And then you really, if you're really into it, that's as much time as it's really going to take. But you don't, there's really no reason to do it once you have the mounts and like outfits and stuff that you wanted.
Now see, if you tell me we all share one island, like Eureka and Borgia, Island Sanctuary would be great. Because think about it, people who don't use spreadsheet will be like, why are you guys doing this? Oh, this is more optimal. Oh my god, I would love to join you. How did you know? I will show you, bro. Come on, follow me. I will get you all the pets you need. I will get you all the calories you need. I will get you the best yield. I will teach you your way. Sure, I'll follow you. You then have an interaction. Wait, why is so many people standing there? Oh, they are waiting for the character. Do you have the character? Oh, I have the character. Oh, then you don't have to go there. How about you and me go get a shark? Oh shit, let's go get a shark. I think that would be a lot more fun. And then we did the Island Sanctuary. They put wards where you can then build your own workshop. And then you're like, you want to come on? Yo, can you invite a party? I want to go to your into your ward and see your to see your hideout. Sure. Come on in. I think that would be fun. I think that Island Sanctuary will be fun. Now, if you tell me everybody is one solo instance and it's just one of you visiting and navigating and exploring the whole fucking island, then I think it's a waste. I feel like if they actually make it like Eureka Borgia, although it's not battle content, it's casual content, I think it'll be more fun. I think it'll be more engaging.
It doesn't affect the game at all. Really doesn't affect anything else. So there's no reason to go to anyone else's sanctuary. And probably the best thing that they did for it was add it so you could put outdoor furnishings there.
And tied to the relic, you know what? At this point, because the relic quest is 1,500 fucking non-capped homes, just put relic quest in Island Sanctuary, man. For people who are queuing for raid, waiting for PF, and clearly means that they cannot go grind homes, then go into the fucking island and dig shit so that you can turn it in, get some calories, 1 to 10 exchange rate, I don't care. And then you can work towards the relic. Why the fuck not? Honestly, why the fuck not? Hey, I see that in your farm, you have managed to get 10 chocobos. Do you want to exchange 10 chocobo with 20 tombstone? Yes. Take the fucking chicken, get them out of my bun. Give me my 20 tomes. And then the 200 tomes, I can use it to work towards my relic. Sure, why not? Why the fuck not? At this point, why not?
So, I mean, that was okay, but that's kind of not what it was meant to do. Because we have housing. Not everyone does, so that's why this is good, but as replayable content.
Yeah. You see, that is the word of this entire video, the replayability. Endwalker has no replayability. Savage is and always has been replayable content. Every expansion, Savage is replayable, so we take that out. If you take out Savage and you look across the board of every other content, Endwalker has the least replayable. Endwalker has the most quantity of content, but Endwalker has the least amount of replayability. They implemented, they bring back old content, they added in new content, but none of them have replayability.
Not it. The Pandemonium raid story was better than the main story quest.
Yes.
There was a couple of weird champ raids here and there, but by and large, I've enjoyed it, and that's the thing I'm probably enjoying most.
Sometimes you don't know the decision you made are the wrong one until you tried it. The only thing about Pandemonium that worked is that it involved the Ancients. That's it. As a Final Fantasy XIV original raid, I think it fell short. Even when you compare to the weak source where Omega just yoinked previous series, or the first Eden's Gate, which is like, you know, back to the primal teams, mostly the primal team. I do think that those two, Omega and Eden, did a better job. I think that Pandemonium is a miss. I think we should commend them, obviously, trying something original, but either you don't do it again or use this as a lesson and do better. That's how I feel about Pandemonium. What didn't help is that Asperdelos and Abyssos is fucking garbage. Anabasios was good. Anabasios was very good. Asperdelos is the worst Savage raid I have ever done in my life. I literally don't even want to PF it. I literally don't even want to stream it. I don't even want to pass in it.
I don't think it compares to Eden, but it's still solid and
yeah, I agree. I don't think it's comparable to Eden. Eden is just fucking goated, I think. Eden is also doing integrating MSQ in it. And also Eden is kind of an original. I think Eden is just the best. I cannot wait for Eden's ultimate. Can't wait to see Titan again. I can't wait for Titan to beat the shit out of me again.
Fine, it's good. It's good.
The original is just by FFA reference. And that's nothing wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. That's literally what I've been saying the last 10 minutes. When you consider referencing other FF as a bad thing, and you therefore want to make an original, and now that you've done both, and it turns out that the former was better, then you need to reconsider your next raid. If something is bad, it's good. Because then you learn from the bad things. If something is always good, you don't learn. Because you always know that whatever I do is going to be good, the community is going to be fine. No. Now that you finally do something that is like, Endwalker, right? This whole video sums it up, right? The entire Endwalker expansion has been like, I think you need to look into that and try to think about what you're gonna do. I think this Pandemonium is weak sauce. The overall package is not as strong as Eden. Just by that definition, that means your original story is not as good as your referencing story. So then, how do you improve? Do you want to continue doing a referencing type of thingy? You're continuing doing that. That's why we have Gobas and the Four Fiends. Or are you gonna try to continue to do original but make it better? Either way, as a consumer, we win. But then they have to know that. If they don't know that, we can't win. If they know that, we will win. You know what I mean?
We could talk about the 2-minute meta all day, but this really... No, we're not going to do that right now.
Oh, man. 2-minute meta. Is she not going to talk about that? I think that is pretty important for this expansion. This is the most uninteresting job gameplay I have ever played. I have to dig so deep. I have to play Black Mage. And right now, at the tail end of this expansion, I have the most fun playing Black Mage. Not because Black Mage is a good job or anything. It's because Black Mage is the only job that actually feels like you need more than 2 brain cells. I feel like I become more and more stupid when I play the other job. I feel like I become more angry when I play Gunbreaker. How did Gunbreaker become the best job they ever made? Literally just last expansion into one of the most clunkiest shit in this expansion. How? It's literally within one expansion. They literally added 3 more buttons. How did they fuck it up? How did they fuck it up because of 1 button? Now, Ninja is pretty good. When I say that this expansion felt the worst playing job, I mean generally, okay? Obviously, there are good ones. Obviously, there are good ones, right? So I think Ninja is fucking amazing. Reaper is good. I think Sage is good. And then luckily, there's Black Mage. I cannot believe I'm actually saying this. I actually really fucking enjoy Black Mage. The fact that I played Black Mage for 3 months and I am nowhere scratching the surface of being a purple Black Mage makes me excited. We got 10 more months of 6.0. I feel like these 10 months I will reach a point that I will be good at Black Mage, but I'm in no rush. But the fact that I've been playing 3 months and I still blew a 50% out, it makes me happy because now there's a reason for me every week to log in. Now there's a reason for me to play Criterion and the new content, the 24-man next, or even, you know, just Savage. I feel like at least when I play this class, it's gonna be interactive, it's gonna be entertaining. So luckily there's still one job that is somewhat requires some more brain cells. The one job they don't give a shit about the 2 minutes meta. Now obviously you still want to do good within the 2 minutes, but I don't think Black Mage cares. I don't think Black Mage really cares. So I do think Black Mage at least let me forget some of these flaws in job gameplay. I guess Zepla is not, she said she's not going to talk about it, so I guess I will talk about it. I'll supplement the video for her, I guess.
I don't even want to get into it right now because it's a whole can of worms. And it's not.
It's okay. It's okay. I just opened the can of worms for her. It's fine.
Soon. The Knee-Deep Dungeon is okay. It's not great for leveling, unfortunately, which is one of the main...
Oh, really? Really? Is it not good for leveling? I thought Deep Dungeon is always good for leveling. Is it not good for leveling this time? Oh, it's bad?
People do Deep Dungeon.
Everyone hate 2 minutes meta, but no one is giving ideas on how to fix it, but the devs don't know what to do to replace it. No, the devs know exactly what to do with it. The devs just want to take an easy way out this time. This is me copium, right? I think because this is the end of this saga, and also potentially a lot of systems in this game, I just think that they don't care because there's no reason to. Because when you go into 7.0, most of the things is gonna change. So there's no reason to address. That's why I think like Astrologian and Dragoon, I feel like they are waiting for the next expansion to make the changes because there's no fucking reason to make the change now. If in the grand scheme of things, in their drawing board back there in Tokyo Square Enix headquarters, they have a grand master plan that this game is gonna go a kind of a substantial different direction, then there's no reason to change. Now that's copium. That is me coping and hoping. But I do want to see that happen. I hope that that's the case. Yeah.
Over and over for longevity. For replayability, you might notice a trend here where just the replayability is not a thing. It also feels like they didn't add enough things that were fresh and new to Deep Dungeon, which is sad because Deep Dungeon I feel like is some of the best potential.
I was about to say the word. Deep Dungeon has so much potential to... You don't have to stick to Deep Dungeon in this template. You can literally vary it into something different. You can make it into a brand new content. Still under the name Deep Dungeon, still soloable, four-manable, with the same system where you open coffers and stuff, but it can be different. It can be a gauntlet fight. It doesn't need to be 100 floor. Like, it can be a not so deep dungeon, or it can be a deeper dungeon, you know what I mean? It doesn't need to stick to this template, you know? It can do something different, you know what I mean?
That has replayability and longevity, and I really wanted them to...
As good as Deep Dungeon is, and as acceptable Deep Dungeon is, Final Fantasy XI players will agree with me, Deep Dungeon is never and will never be as good as Neo Naizu Neo Naizu is just how Deep Dungeon should be done.
Add better, more involved progression system within Deep Dungeon. Like, I don't know.
Explain for all of us who is not ancient. Naizu has way more criteria to clear a floor. It involves killing a mob, killing a group of mobs, killing all mobs, lighting a lamp, lighting 2 lamps, lighting 5 lamps, lighting them together, lighting them in order, or lighting just the most important one. There's a lot more criteria, obviously, but in order for you to clear a floor, you do a lot of things. And then after that, in between, you have what type of mobs. Some mobs are difficult, some mobs are not difficult. And then you have affixes. You cannot use this, you cannot use that. They do that for a progression system of every floor, and then you get to save your progress up to 100. And then they also did another version, which is what I think Deep Dungeon should do. And like Zepla was saying, another version where yes, you climb floor by floor. That's one version. That's the normal version. And then you got another version is you can choose to climb one floor, or you can choose to climb multiple floor. Now, if you choose, it's like Super Mario Jack and the Beanstalk. Now, if you choose to use the Jack or the Beanstalk, you might get multiple affixes. You might get harder monsters, or you can get super lucky. You gamble with crazier RNG at the expense of trying to clear more floors. For example, how the system fundamentally works, but then a variety of how it can work. So Deep Dungeon should do that. Because Deep Dungeon is just the same. Clear one floor, clear one floor, clear one floor, clear one floor. I think they should do something different, right?
I wish they would just be a little bit more creative with it. Because right now I just don't know anyone that's interested in it. Leveling up at it, your ether pool armor is really a pain in the ass. And
Really?
it's not worth it.
I thought it's the
really
same.
affect anything.
I mean, I
The
done
rewards aren't really there.
the clear. I thought it's the same.
Too.
It felt like
In
a
terms
Deep
of
Dungeon.
content that has come out.
I did my samurai. Wait, what is my samurai level? Let me check. I did my samurai to level 83. It didn't feel that bad. I think the problem with Deep Dungeon leveling is not that it's bad. I think it's because the dungeon EXP just give way too much right now. And I don't think that Deep Dungeon scale with the improved EXP that they give in dungeon. That's why hence Deep Dungeon is not good for leveling. Okay, you guys are comparing to Borgia. That's not fair. Borgia is not Deep Dungeon. We are comparing Deep Dungeon to Deep Dungeon. That's not fair.
In this expansion, I'd say Deep Dungeon is alright. Like, it's not that bad. It's one of the better ones. This is the most tragic case, though.
Oh.
Variant and Criterion. Because
Tragic is the right word. I never thought about using that word, but she's right. Tragic is the right word. Tragic is like the world is about to end. And then you have this really fucking hot girlfriend that you want to bang so much. And then because the world is ending, she finally agreed to bang. And then that's it. You don't get to start a family with her. The world is ending. While you're banging her, the meteorite probably hit Earth and you're vaporized. It's tragic. There is no future. It was fun though. That's how Criterion feels like. Criterion was a very happy instant. Not even a moment, just an instant. You have fun, you enjoyed it, and then you're like Louisois. You look at the meteor and then it just, yeah.
the content is good. Everybody agrees. The content
It's
is
good content.
The fights are well designed.
Yes.
It's innovative. It's fresh.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you got to think about how you're going to pull the mobs around.
Criterion is the best content aside from Ultimate. It's the content they put in effort and it was amazing. But they forgot something.
And that has been a breath of fresh air. That they have tried to do something new and different. But it's like they take half measures with innovation. They're afraid to risk too much. Change up the formula too much. It seems like they were terrified to add anything into Criterion.
And again, this is why Ultimate is the best content in the game. Because the Ultimate, the developers have no chains. The developers are unleashed. The developers' full creativity and ideas are fully showcased. And this is why in Final Fantasy XIV, every other content felt like there were reservations. And that is sad. We want more. If it's new, it's fine. You play 2 years, you want more. You play 10 years, it's not good enough. And Endwalker has reached that tipping point. Or you're conservative, or you're playing safe, this is it. You have to break that barrier already. 7.0, they need to take more risk.
That, like, any kind of new item that you could get through it, anything that might screw up the strict itemization schedule
system
that they have, where certain types of items drop from the alliance raid and then certain types of items drop
That's why
from
the whole
dungeon. And it has
That's why the whole gear system needs to go. They need to come up with a brand new gearing system. If they don't want to toss away the entire gearing system, then change the item level acquisition. How are item level being weighed today? The item level being weighed today versus yesterday was very different. Back then, when you do Labyrinth of the Ancient, or back then when you do a War of Darkness, those gear that you get mean something. It's level 80, it's strong. Because you cannot get them in raid. You can't grind, it's weekly lockout. You would do insert raid tier for the head, but it never drops. And then you getting a War of Darkness head is an upgrade. Then yes, it needs to be capped at item level 120. It cannot be item level 130. It is still useful if you cannot get the 130 version. You don't want to spend tomes for the 120 tome or upgrade it into a 130 with using tomes plus upgrade. It's free. It's weekly lockout sweep, it's free. But you getting that head from War of Darkness, it's an upgrade. And yes, it should stay at 180. Fine. Fast forward 10 years, we have got Savage gear that gives you pages. It costs less pages. It now drops every single gear in one full clear. It dropped Coffin. You got crafted gear that is free upgradable to equal item level to your 24-man. Why the fuck is 24-man still this item level? 24-man needs to be 5 more item level already. 24-man needs to be able to be upgradable. Think about it this way. 24-man gear is 10 item level lower. 24-man is literally the item level of a tombstone and upgrade. But tombstone, you have to do expert. Tombstone, you have a cap. Your 24-man is a weekly lockout. Just give us the 24-man gear at that item level, but we can put a 20 in it. And then it will become raid item level with different stats. 10 years later, is that gonna unbalance the game? 10 years later, is it gonna cause an unfair advantage? 10 years ago, yes. 10 years later, no. So the system needs to change already. Now, whether it changed from bottom up, grab the whole item level and do it bottom up, or just simply make them upgradable or give them 5 more item level, it's a fix. If the 24-man can be 5 item level lower than raid or upgradable to raid, then your Criterion can also get a reward. Then you can raise your home cap. Then you can give player more horizontal gear selection. It's a snowball effect, man. It's a chain effect, man. You know?
to be the specific item level, and they don't want to change it at all. They don't want to give you anything that's going to drop anywhere else that's going to be different. And I think they're really crippling their game by not providing, if they're not going to do the gear rewards from this stuff, I don't know, like find something else to make people go do. I don't know, maybe related to a relic. They chose to take that out of the game this time.
If you want to just grind 1,005, go for it. People like me who don't want mind-numbing grind, I don't mind doing Criterion for the fun, clear for 1, get bonus Criterion specific tombstone, and then use that Criterion specific tombstone to buy the relic upgrade item. I don't mind. Is it efficient? Fuck no. Is it more fun? Yes. Is there more replayability for said specific content? Absolutely. Yes, you don't want to put a weapon in there, sure. You don't want to put an item level reward in there, sure. Give me a chance to get 1/10 of a relic item so that I can do Criterion 10 times inefficiently, but fun. Why can't we do that? You know?
There's just no reward. There's no reward that anyone cares about in Criterion. Yes, there's like this mount, but you can buy that with guild.
Yeah.
So it kind of
and guild is
mean
useless
it doesn't
in this game.
mean that you've cleared it. It doesn't mean much. It's a shame. In all my years of playing, I've never seen brand new piece of content die
in
so
less
fast.
than a week, yeah.
Brand new content, and in less than a week, no one cared. In fact, I remember the day that...
Dude, Shinda don't even care to do Criterion. People that were so hyped to do Savage Criterion don't even want to do Savage Criterion anymore. I am here sitting fighting a healer, Violent and Xeno, although they told me that I'm down to do Criterion Savage. I don't even think they care. I don't think they will lose sleep. I don't think they will knock on my door and say, hey Arthars, where the fuck are we doing that Criterion Savage? I'm here looking for a healer. I messaged, okay, I didn't message Momo. Violent messaged Momo. Momo didn't even want to reply Violent. We can't even fight. Dude, the highest end motivated players don't even want to do.
Variant and Criterion stuff came out the first time. The Ass and Ass Savage. And I had, taken my time logging in that day. And when I logged in, I saw my friend had already got the Silky mount from the variant dungeon, from clearing all 12 paths of the variant without even really trying. And so they were actually done with variant.
I haven't even go back. I want to go back and get this mount for my guinea pigs.
Before I can even log in the same day that it came out. There's no reason to return. You can be done with it in a couple of hours. And that's frankly unacceptable in an MMO where you want people to be playing together. But I guess maybe they don't. Maybe they just don't want that anymore.
They don't want people to play together anymore. Final Fantasy XIV is a single player game with MMO aspect. It's not an MMORPG. Yeah.
More positive things that I think have happened in this expansion. But these series, milestones rewards, the PvP rewards that was meant to keep people engaged with the PvP long term, you can knock it all out in a week or two if you try. So people that do casual, I mean, that still pops fairly often.
I do think Crystalline Conflict is the best addition though, which is the problem. PvP is never the thing we talk about in Final Fantasy, but the fact that Crystalline Conflict is probably the biggest change into a system that it existed and then made better tells you everything about Endwalker. Like, this is the best change they ever done to a game system, to a gameplay. And everything else in the game didn't get them. Can we get this innovation in them revamping the PvP into PvE, you know?
Casual, it can get kind of boring. Ranked is really where the fun is, in my
opinion. And please add in party matchmaking. Please let us able to queue with a friend. Can we have that, please?
And ranked players in the first couple of weeks, and they are gone. There's no further incentive to do it anymore after that. And so yeah, anytime I complain about it, people just say, oh well, if you're playing FXIV for the PvP, you're playing the wrong game. And I'm really
okay. I am one of those guys that say that, but I don't think so anymore. If you want to play some sort of fun PvP and then at the same time expand from that to play a Final Fantasy XIV game and a Final Fantasy MMO and then eventually get into the other aspects of the game, Savage Raiding. If you want to try out this game for PvP, I do think that right now this game is in a decent state for you to play PvP. To get into the game, yes. Now, yes. Feast, no. Crystalline Conflict, yes. It's not the best, but I do think that you can start recommending people, yeah, you want a different PvP, you want a more casual approach PvP. There's a version of, you know, Final Fantasy XIV PvP that kind of offers that. I do think is something that you can talk about. Back then, no. But now, yes. Right?
Frankly. There's also...
It's not bad. It's really not bad.
Do not want the game to...
I think that Crystalline Conflict is better than Overwatch 2. Is it good? No. But I think it's better than Overwatch 2.
To ask you to do more. Let me tell you something. You don't need the game to not have stuff in it for you to walk away when you're tired. You can just walk away when you're tired.
Man, Zepla is a white mage player. White mage is so fucking broken in the early CC. Zepla is a meta slave. I hated white mage. I hated white mage so much that when I play ninja in Crystalline Conflict, I don't give a shit about winning or losing. My sole mission, my Sasuke mission is to every time seek out the white mage and dump everything on the white mage. I don't care whether we are losing. I don't care whether we are winning. My sole purpose as a ninja in Crystalline Conflict is to hunt the white mage. If she or he use a single solo LB on me, that is an honor. That for me is mission accomplished. And even better cherry on top if the fucking white mage is a Lalafell. Let me tell you, when I see a white mage, I just dedicate my entire CC match harassing you. That's fine. I might not do my best. I might fuck around. I don't care. But if the white mage is a Lalafell, I give in my 110%. To make sure that this Lalafell would never want to see the radiance of Sasuke W ever again in the next future game. I super dedicate myself. I am a white mage killer.
Unfortunately, the FF14 community has developed a little bit of a reputation for
so they just polymorph you. I don't care.
Criticism at all. And this is
even if I turn into the sheep, I will chew their ass.
To be able to discuss when things don't feel right, they don't feel as good as they used to be. And I almost feel like people want to say that they're burnt out because it's easier for others to accept than for them to say the content this time wasn't fun enough for me. The content didn't make me...
The sims of the game will always try... I mean, why am I even explaining? The fact that I use the word sims literally tell you what you need to know about their behavior. About what they're gonna say, what they're gonna do. Basically, their life depends on it. I don't think they are willing to accept criticism. I don't think they even want changes. And even if they want, they won't say it.
Want to play the content wasn't something I was excited to do. It's almost like that in itself is a taboo for some people to say. And it's easier for them to accept, well, maybe it's on me. It's just I'm personally tired of the game. And I think in a lot of cases, maybe that's not true. Because I've never seen this many people claim to be burnt out, and I think it actually has a lot to do with the content more than people are willing to admit. And I'm tired of hearing people say, whenever we bring up these complaints or any kind of criticism about the game and why I want to be able to play it more, but I can't. I'm tired of hearing people say, well, we don't want this to be a game where it's just this huge grind where you need 30 hours a week.
I cannot believe I will see the day that Zepla would say all this stuff in this video. But Zepla has never been so critical about a game until Endwalker. This is not just a person who wants to get attention or wants to do something different or want to piss off the community. This is a typical Final Fantasy XIV player behavior if you play the game too long. Because once you see the pattern, once you know what's coming, you will reach this state. A lot of 14 creators that is new, came out, play enough, they all reach the same state. This is normal. So back then, 4 or 5 years when you see me and Zeno was already in this state, because these players haven't played the game for 5 years yet. Now, 5 years later, they become like us critical. Not because we hate the game. It's because we've seen through it and we want it to be better. And the more people realize this, the better. Because I don't think Square Enix don't see this. I don't think they choose to close a blind eye and want to make a not good product. I'm pretty sure Yoshi P wants to make a better product. And again, I know I'm an Ultimate sim, but again, Ultimate has proven that the developers have that power. Ultimate has proven that the developers really sometimes 2 times per expansion so far, hopefully 3 the next expansion. I'll ask him again, yes. There are times they just decided to unleash the beast. There's a beast in there. And nothing is more sad to see a beast being caged. I'm hoping that one day Yoshi P will unleash the beast. Make 14 hard. Make you earn it. These 10 years of honeymoon should come to an end. It's not a new game anymore. Doesn't need to be high-end difficult content. Replayability needs to be better. Even though if it's casual content, replayability.
No one is saying that. Stop jumping to this huge extreme conclusion. I hate that people keep doing this. It's driving me crazy.
Yep.
Like, just because
they think we hate the game.
I would like a very the lightest possible pressure to please maybe log in today or this month. That doesn't mean I want to go full balls to the wall, Shadowlands, renown grinds. I don't want that. No one wants that. No one's asking for that. So stop saying that. What we are saying is that we want to play together. We want to feel like the game is an exciting place to be, at least sometimes, at least for maybe 1-2 weeks after the major patch came out. Okay? I don't want to see people fall.
See, that's where Eureka and Borgia fills in so nicely. Eureka and Borgia, right, is a content that everybody will spend at least 1 or 2 days in a week. When you got nothing to do, I go to Borgia. I got something to level, I want to grind a relic, I go to Eureka. Even if you do it bare minimum, 1 week of the 7 days minimum, everybody will go in. That's good enough. That's better than everything Endwalker has offered so far. You know?
And often saying they're bored. Like a week after patches. This is not normal. Okay, I've been around playing this game for long enough to know what's normal and what isn't. And this isn't. I'm seeing really unhealthy signs right now. And I think this lack of attention to the game from the devs, that's really what it seems like.
It is. And I blame 16 for it. I will always blame 16 for it. You can never convince me that 16 has nothing to do with the developers taking a mind off 14 temporarily. During the 16 development. You cannot convince me. As awesome Yoshi P is a man manager, there is no fucking way a human can develop 2 high-end titles at the same time. There's no fucking way. There's no way you can make Endwalker awesome at the same time make 16 awesome. It's not because you are bad. It's not because you are not capable. It's just human limitation. Something's gonna give. Nobody can work 2 jobs and excel at both jobs without sacrificing something. Example, family time. Example, sleep time. Something's gonna give. And I think 14 gave because of 16. Right?
It seems like laziness. And this hesitation to criticize the game at all on behalf of the player base is going to kill the game eventually. Now, I said I don't want to be a doomer.
Nah, it's okay, Zepla. I'm gonna bring my copium tank to EU and gonna we're gonna get high together. Me and Zepla is gonna get high together. We're gonna get high on copium together. 7.0 is gonna be good. 7.0, we will see massive changes that we will forget about this video and conversation. 100%. Yes, I'll make sure I bring that tank.
And I don't think the game is dying.
And I'm serious. You guys think I'm being sarcastic? I'm not. This game needs to be better, man. My life depends on it, dude. I am 43 years old. Twitch is dying. I don't know how many more years can I be a streamer and continue to make money to support my family, man. Now Yoshi P says that this game, he is looking forward to the next 5 years, 10 years of this game. Great. But still, this game needs to be better, man. My livelihood depends on it, man. I don't mind streaming this game if this game is continued to be flawed like it is in Endwalker for the next 10 years. I don't mind that. I'm okay with that. But my God, just because I'm okay with eating plain pancakes, that doesn't mean that I don't wish that tomorrow the pancake comes with maple syrup or an ice cream or whipped cream. I will love that. I don't mind eating plain pancakes, but I would love some chocolate chip on it at some point. You know what I mean? Please, for the love of God, man.
These are things that we need to nip in the bud before they get out of hand. You need to be able to admit whenever the content itself is just worse. It's that simple. We're not comfortable with that in this community because usually every expansion is
same.
The goose laying the golden egg. It's usually pretty damn good. And I'm willing to accept that it's impossible for any game to keep your attention nonstop all the time. That's not what we're asking for either.
Here, get some syrup for those
What
pancakes.
I do want is to not see most of my friends say things like, well, I guess I'll just come back in Dawn Trail. Now, some people are saying, oh, well, it's just because they were so busy working on an FF16.
It is, I think so.
To cut some corners here. I don't know if that's true. And
I think it's true.
I don't care. Because the fact is, a lot of people are saying it.
It's not our problem. At the end of the day, that's how they choose to prioritize their product development. It's not our problem. I personally, just as a 14 player, hope that that's not the case. But it does seem that it's the case because of the lack of quote-unquote quality. I now choose to believe it is because of 16. Just so that I can convince myself that this is just a blip. This is not the future of 14 going forward. This is just a blip. I hope. Right?
And if a lot of people feel that way, then it's unacceptable. Maybe Yoshi P's attention has been divided. I mean, he is
has to be.
Directors. He tried to get off it, and they won't let him for some reason. He had been working on FF16, and he's trying to do director producer of FF14. I just feel like it's too much. They're working this man too damn hard. And he needs to stop doing everything else that he's got his attention split on and focus on FF.
Now, if Yoshi P decided that 14 is no longer his main focus, that's fine. He already saved this game or even saved this fucking franchise already. I don't think I'm gonna blame him if he decided to say, okay, guys, I cannot do this anymore. Somebody that is more motivated, somebody has got a better vision, somebody is willing to take the risk, should take over. Fine, that's okay. We will just blame the next guy. If the game goes to shit, we will just blame the next guy. I don't want the doubt. You know what I mean? I just don't want the doubt. I don't want the doubt that it could be this, it could be 16, it could be Yoshi P. You know what I mean?
14. Give it his full, undivided attention for Dawn Trail, because I don't ever want to hear anybody saying again, making excuses for them.
No, DLC wouldn't matter for huge development. Nah, DLC is not that difficult to develop. I mean, it's still gonna take time, but it's not gonna be one fucking whole game package worth of 150 hours content, cutscene, music, and shit for them to think about. Nah, DLC is not gonna be that bad. Nah.
As to why the content seems worse this time around.
It's like making Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not gonna be like making Final Fantasy VII Remake. Final Fantasy VII Remake probably take them 5 to 10 years to plan and do. But then when they do the next one, the last one, it's not gonna take 10 years because the base is there already. You know what I mean?
Point I hope I can really get across to you in this video is that this isn't black and white. It shouldn't be a choice between so much pressure to log in that there's like FOMO even. You have to log in right now or you're missing out. There's somewhere better to be between that and
it shouldn't be that extreme.
So why do you care?
It needs to be in between.
I guess you need to think of your own reason to care. And most people don't, because they're constantly being barraged on all sides by a million other games that are working very hard to give them lots of reasons to care about logging into those other games. And people have a limited amount of time. And I'm sorry to say, but FFXIV needs to fight a little harder for people's time and not take it for granted that people will just always come back and always play. And like, yes, maybe they will for the expansions, but what about the rest of the time?
It will reach a point that people will not come back anymore. Let's just say back then 3 4.0, 10 people play, 9 people will come back. When it goes to Storm's Blood, 10 people play, 7 people come back. Shadowbringer is different. Shadowbringer is 10 people play, 20 people came back. Those 10 people came back with their WoW friends. Shadowbringer is different, okay? But it's not because Shadowbringer is awesome, but it's also because World of Warcraft fucking killed itself. Most people over the course of expansion will stop coming back. And then Endwalker now is 10 people play, 5 people comes back. What is 7.0 gonna be? Now, I do think that if they promise really breath of fresh air into the game like they promise, and then we obviously see it in the next few live letter or keynote, then I do think that, you know, maybe we will go back to, you know, like Heaven's Word, where 10 people play, 9 will come back. Because right now, Endwalker, I think half the players are not coming back. I don't think a lot of people will come back in this 6.5 compared to the previous 6.5. People will just wait for 1 month before Dawn Trail, probably.
One thing I would say also as another little addendum, DSR was probably the best experience I've ever had in gaming. Clearing DSR, the ultimate raid that came out in Endwalker, was the most fun I've ever had.
DSR is the peak of Endwalker, but then DSR was a 5.5 ultimate. So do you give credit to Endwalker or do you give credit to 5.5? There is no right or wrong answer for this one. It's just how do you perceive it. Yes, DSR is the best one, but is DSR an Endwalker content? This one is not about true or false, yes or no, 1 or 0. This one is up to you. If it's up to me, I still think we are lack 1 ultimate. I mean, that's the fact. I mean, mathematics, right, guys? Come on. If 1 expansion is 2 ultimate, and if 1 expansion didn't get 2 ultimate, then 1 expansion has to have 3 ultimate. That's simple math, man. This is not me nitpicking. It's just simple math. So technically speaking, Endwalker only got 1 ultimate. DSR is just a borrowed ultimate. But do you count it as a 6.0 ultimate?
Had in a game, period.
Godly_display asked if DSR came out in Shadowbringers EU would be so much worse than what it is.
I think if DSR is in 5.5, that would be insane. Can you imagine DSR in 5.5? Asmongold was playing the game. Everybody, the whole fucking world is watching the game. If DSR came out, no. I think if DSR came out in 5.5, it would be better. Because DSR is clearly meant for level 80 jobs. DSR was not meant for Reaper. DSR was not meant for fucking Summoner Reward. DSR was not meant for Gunbreaker at level 90. I'm not sure whether you guys done DSR with those jobs that I mentioned. It's fucking horrible. The timing, the phase transition was not meant for 2 minutes meta. I don't think you guys know
just how amazing battle content in FFXIV can be. It showed me that the game can be so thrilling and so...
Now, publicity-wise, would it be better? I don't know. But I can tell you, 5.5 has a lot of World of Warcraft players. Now, Endwalker also have a lot of World of Warcraft players playing, yes. But 5.5 have way more. It was insane.
Engaging and so exciting when the battle content is designed around what you need to do and keeps you like invested and engaged.
DSR is
and,
the best one.
Choices matter, and if you, that was so.
Will we ever see another DSR? I mean, TOP is really good, man. I think the biggest criticism about TOP is that TOP is not DSR. But I think TOP is pretty fucking good. Personally, I think TOP is as good. The prop is as good as DSR. But I just think because DSR was the first one, that's why it was the best, right? I like TOP. I don't know why people hated TOP. Yeah, TOP P6 was so fucking good.
So I know how good the game can be.
Yep.
And
Yep. You see, Zepla agrees. Seeing an ultimate able to reach this sort of development, right? They are able to develop something like that, right? It gives you hope. The developers are not washed up. The developers can go crazy. The players got better. We've seen more mechanics. We are now making better statics. Yet TOP whooped our ass. They can.
Because of that experience, I continue to set a very high standard for it, and I want them to do the same. Now, that is not actually all I have to say about this.
Oh my god. Please don't tell me she's got a second video.
The next part of this discussion is about the casual experience, and that's going to be my next video.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. She said a lot of video.
What I've noticed seems like some people like to say, oh, well, it's all for the casuals. They're just dumbing down the game for the casuals.
Louis1000 ask trip 14 next https://twitter.com//status/1698133071411724471.
Dude, can I click this on stream? Nah, DLC is normal. Nah, DLC is not gonna affect 14 the way 16 base game did, okay? Nah, DLC is whatever.
And
I'm not worried about
some
DLC.
of y'all are not gonna be happy that I made a negative video or critical video. The next one is also... God forbid
a content creator cannot put out a negative video. God forbid that content creators cannot speak their mind.
out things that could be improved. But I really hope that you can get real comfortable real fast with constructive criticism of the game. We need this. We all need to get real cool about it real quick if we want this game to really
be
thrive,
better. Yeah.
Because we need to hear from all sides. We need to hear from all perspectives. And
Your girlfriend will never become better unless you criticize her. She's not gonna make you better food when you think her food has always been mean. If you always compliment her food that is the best, just out of respect, it doesn't matter whether she's happier or she will continue to make you food. She will continue to make you bad food. Sometimes some things need to be said, just so that even if you like them, you love them, you accept the way they are, it can be better. Don't settle. If it can be improved, improve. You only live once. Life is short. Don't settle for fine. Be better. If you can, obviously, be better. You know?
I can hear the canary in the coal mine is what I'm saying. And I want positive change. And so we're never going to get that
if you criticize your girlfriend, she stopped talking to me for a day. Yes, that's great. So if you criticize her, she stopped talking for the day, but she got the message. That message might spur a change. But if you don't say that, you don't take that one day L, you might not. Okay. Hey, honey, can we try doggy style tomorrow? What? You want to fuck me like a dog? I don't want to be treated like a dog. She ignored you for one day. 2 days later, she came back. Okay, you know what? Let's try doggy style. And then she likes it. And then from now on, you get doggy style. That's a dub. That's a win. You lose one day and you win for the eternity. That's a dub, man.
just plug our ears and close our eyes and act like, oh, everything's perfect all the time. That's stupid. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Please tell me about your thoughts on the Endwalker patches. Have you been spending this time putting 200 hours into Baldur's Gate 3 like I have and so many other people have? Is there like, what other games are you playing? Or maybe you're still going through the story, or maybe you have found things to do in the game. You've created your own
it's nice.
Goals
this is really nice. Most of the comment agree that the game is stale. This is really good. If this type of comment is in the JP forum, this will hold a lot of weight, because the JP community managers that frequents the forum, they would really take this as feedback that they bring it back. Now, I'm not sure whether the NA or EU community managers even do stuff like this. We don't know, right? Because at the end of the day, Square Enix, America and Square Enix EU is just working under Square Enix Japan, right? You know, Square Enix Japan is the one that do the stuff. Yoshi P is the one that make the decision, right? They have like hierarchy. So I'm not sure whether even if the NA or EU community managers, when they see this, whether they will provide this as valuable feedback. And then number two, whether the developers themselves will take it as valuable feedback is another thing. But what I'm trying to say is, if these are the things that the JP says, I'm telling you, it's gonna bear a lot of weight. But at least looking at all these comments, everybody agree that the game is really kind of stale already. This might be the loud minority, but there is definitely way more loud minority now than in Shadowbringer, than in Storm's Blood, for sure. Like right now, I do think this is the most amount of people that actually feel like, yes, the game needs more replayability. The game needs to be less stale. I do think this is the expansion that very clearly showed the game needs to be better. You know? So hopefully, you know, this EU Fan Fest, we get something more. Like the video. Done. Drama, can you please play the fucking game? Dude, I've been streaming for 4 hours. I have not done a single thing. I do have some pretty cute cat girls here though. I want to screenshot this. Yeah, that's worth. That panty shot alone is worth.